Shab. Pow! Ho ho ho, Worldwide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the personality of the West Hat. And welcome to Live and Wired, episode 27. Gotta go home.
Gotta go home for the holidays.
Something like that.
Sure.
Oh boy. So, joining as always, we have Patricia Miranda.
Hey, everybody.
And joining as often, I should just introduce you both at the same time. I need two mouths. Two mouths.
No, you don't. Like that is something that the whole world does not need. And as a real life example to illustrate why this is something the world doesn't need, I would like to remind everybody of the Predator reaction video.
Yes. By the way, I was very tempted to share this article that I found yesterday about somebody defending it, but I decided not to.
Someone
yeah.
If they gave well-reasoned arguments, I could kind of get behind that, but at the same time, I'm worried because they say you're always your own worst critic, but I also think that I'm also pretty damn critical of other critics. It's just there was a YouTube video I was watching where it was like talking about the worst games of this and that, and
you're critical of other critics. Really, I didn't know.
Yeah. But I just remember they were talking about general worst games of 2018, and there were some in there that I liked, and I assumed they were going to just say the same crap that everyone always says. But then there was one I agreed with, and their argument for why it's bad was so non-existent and terrible. I'm like, come on, you can give much better reasons why this game is bad. Oh, Metal Gear Survive is bad because it didn't have Hideo Kojima behind it. That doesn't matter. The gameplay sucked ass.
Mm-hmm.
The survival aspects were so restrictive. You had to get to level fucking 20 before you can make purified water, and before then you gotta drink fucking dirty ass water that gets you sick, and then you can't do shit anyway. Good fucking luck, bitch. This fucking game, there's plenty wrong with it other than the fact that it didn't have Hideo Kojima.
Maybe we're kind of happy that Decker doesn't do much game reviews.
But hey, EDF 5 is out, and for the first time ever, the Earth has been invaded by aliens.
Yay!
For the 5th time, the first time ever. It's the second time the series is rebooted, but I love it anyway.
Sure.
Oh god.
All right, well...
Gojira Fan 1954 is asking, Independence Day Resurgence has been on Blu-ray for 2 years now. What possible excuse do you have for not having reviewed it by now? I'm a terrible procrastinator.
There you go. That's the best excuse that Decker can give in this holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
A game reviews channel? I don't know about that. I have a gaming channel, but I usually just use it to look at anime titties.
Well, at least for a while, until apparently you got shut down, and then you had to resort to going over to Twitch, and then you got it back again just recently.
Yeah, and then I went right back to the anime titties.
Like, anytime Decker has a game on his gaming channel that isn't full of anime titties, it immediately catches my eye. Like, that's such a staple of his gaming channel that if I see that there's an upload, I'll like, oh, Decker's got another game up. I wonder how many. Oh, holy shit! This one doesn't have tits in it.
I think I've got like one video of Red Dead Redemption 2, and I've got 11 now of Sakura Gamer.
Mm-hmm. I think there's also a couple of live streams that we did for Rec Room.
Oh yeah, well we did one live stream of Rec Room. We also we played something else together. Oh, Grand Theft Auto.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to play some EDF with you, just because it's just so amazing and campy and Japanese.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, not to mention your God of War Let's Plays, unless there's a Norse god who has big titties that I don't know of.
I'm going to find out.
Eventually.
There's actually more cross-dressing in Norse mythology than there is big titties. Most of it involving Thor and Loki. And no, Loki is not the one who does the cross-dressing.
Jake Schutzip says more RoboCop on the way, and yes, I have finished the script for the RoboCop 2 review, and I still need to film it. Christmas time's a busy time. Did you know this?
Yes, very much so.
I got this thing going on in a couple of days on Christmas Eve. There's this, I don't know, my fiance's mother's sister is having a thing at her house, and evidently she has an albino pachyderm involved.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what the hell's going on, but evidently I had to buy some gifts and go. I'm going there. I'm like, okay. And like, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm like, I don't understand. You're talking about elephants and the ones with no pigment in their skin.
All right, well, at least you'll be celebrating Christmas with the pachyderm. It's like, you know that song, I want an elephant for I want a hippopotamus for Christmas, so apparently we'll be getting an elephant.
That he won off of a radio show, just like that.
Yeah.
Jacob Kennedy is asking, when am I going to write my book, Robots with Tits? And
As soon as he's done finishing his book about blue people.
the blue alien women?
Yep, that's the one.
I want to do Robots with Tits. I mean, like, write the book, not...
Yeah, Decker just told you when the release date is, so there you go. Put it on your calendar.
I have no idea. I really should just do it.
Yeah. All right, so I guess we can get started on all this stuff that's been going on over the past couple of weeks, especially since there's been a lot of reveals.
Just in time, Nick in chat says, I've never been to one of these live shows. The hell is this about? And generally speaking, the point of Live and Wired is that we're just going to talk about sort of recent events in movies, video games, and internet stuff with myself, that long-haired creepy guy, and Patricia Miranda of Old School Lane.
Yep.
And just have audience participation. Chats away. We respond to it if we notice it, which we often don't, because things just kind of tend to go.
Yeah, they tend to go a little crazy sometimes. Some of the most random things that you would never expect to see on the news is actually happening. So, I guess...
Cat Lunis is asking, is one of the news the anti-adult content on Tumblr? And I think that was last episode of Live and Wired.
We did discuss about that. Yeah, we discussed about that last week for like 1 minute because we were...
briefly.
I couldn't
like
tell you.
You said we were talking about controversy, and I was like, okay, that's it. I got up and left, and then I come back, and I'm like, oh, we were just talking about this. Well, I have a little something to say. And you're just moving on to the next topic. Oh, but hold on. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, but we did talk about that last time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what should we cover first? Because, my God, we have so much to say.
Oh, well, there is two things I can think of to talk about first, as I use 4 fingers to express this. Number 1, Christmas movies. What are they? And number 2, the topic involved in the title of this particular episode.
Yes. Okay, so I guess we can discuss about that first. Let's leave the one in the title card for a little bit later. So last week, we discussed about several polls that people had voted on. And one of those polls well, one of them was, about like what's the most influential movie, and they say Wizard of Oz, and there was a whole bunch of others that they mentioned. But the second one was, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And most people said no. They say that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Most people are wrong.
Yeah. In fact, most people are so wrong that 20th Century Fox themselves had to correct this. So recently, 20th Century Fox posted a new trailer on their YouTube channel showing them that, yes, indeed, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and it is the greatest Christmas story. So it's very short. It basically just said it. We said it before, and we'll say it again. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Only this time we have 20th Century Fox to back us up. Although this shiny
I'm
new
wondering
trailer...
if this is what World War III will be fought over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, Jack Brand dropped $5 in Super Chat saying, rumor has it that Episode 9 is going to be set a year into the future. This is shaping up to be a disaster. Do you have any faith in J.J. Abrams? And I haven't really been following the newer Star Wars stuff since Rogue One, which I still do need to make that video talking about. Yes, I did fuck some stuff up in the review, but also I feel like a lot of the complaints I got were just I didn't fully explain my points like as well as I should have. But I still did clearly fuck some things up. Factually, I got things wrong, and that is not good. I've been meaning to make a video addressing that, and I never did. So, yay.
Yay.
But since Rogue One, I really just also kind of lost interest in really pursuing the rest of it. It's just like,
I mean, can you blame us?
I've got other things I'd rather watch.
Can you blame us at this point? I mean, with all the news about, like, you know, the what was it, like all of the petitions for
like,
Star Wars Episode 8 to be not in canon, and the people trying to make a fan Star Wars movie. It's kind of hard, especially there was this one article.
I try not to be political in the show because I'm like, this is about entertainment, not politics.
Right.
And enough entertainment out there is being political, so I don't need to add to that. And it's really hard to approach Episode 8 without talking about the politics. It's really hard because it's just, that's what it's on all sides, just nothing but political banter back and forth. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that Decker will cover it maybe in the future, but in the meantime, we got RoboCop.
Yeah, and that does have plenty of political commentary, but it's subtext and undertones, at least in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of, they're not nearly as subtle in RoboCop 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's also 30 years old, so there's that.
Sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's not too many online petitions and street brawls breaking out over the political tones in the RoboCop series.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, but yeah, basically what this article is saying that, guess what? No matter what the polls said that we discussed about last week about most people claiming that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, 20th Century Fox confirmed that it is in fact a Christmas movie. And I would play it.
Padawan Graham in chat says, my teacher was like, what's your favorite Christmas movie? And I'm like, it's Die Hard. He said, that's not a Christmas movie. And I said, the fuck you say?
Wow, if I were to say that to my teacher, I would have been sent to detention.
Yeah.
Oh god, Nick's saying, someone trying to avoid politics and entertainment? He must be trying to hide his politics, of course! Oh god. Mata Nui is like, honestly, who freaking cares if it's a Christmas movie or not? And when World War III breaks out, Mata, if you're not with us, you're against us. You will still die in the name of whether or not this movie is Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So yeah, Die Hard's Christmas movie, according to Fox, or a Christmas story. Is a Christmas story necessarily a Christmas movie? The story is a movie, so one would logically say yes, but there's still some room to wiggle around in that. I love you, weasel words.
Is it a better Christmas story than the Christmas story, though?
Is a Christmas story really a Christmas movie? Because it doesn't have much at all to do with the magic of Christmas. It's just a situation that involves Christmas around Christmas. There's an expectation of gifts, but that's really not what the story is about.
Well, neither is Die Hard.
Exactly.
Now I'm just confused.
I'm just wearing this fucking hat.
The Riff Mage 18 asks, there is a Child's Play remake coming soon. And we know we've been actually talking about that for quite a while.
And the original creators behind Child's Play have some words for it, do they not?
Oh, they do, actually. There was just an interview recently discussing about Child's Play again, and the fact that the co-creator of Child's Play is, shall we say, not very happy about how he's seeing how the reboot is coming along. So we've talked about the reboot a handful of times on Live and Wired. So if you want to know what the reboot's going to be about compared to the original, you can go check that out. So let's actually take a look to see how the creator feels about this reboot. So Creepy, I don't want you to volunteer because I know you don't like reading these. So why don't you take it, Decker?
Damn it. I want Creepy to read it.
It's
Don
Christmas.
Mancini, who created the creepy doll franchise that introduced us to Chucky, is angry about the upcoming Child's Play reboot. Despite writing all 7 films to date and directing the last 3, Mancini has no involvement with the remake starring Aubrey Plaza and Brian Tyree Henry. You don't say. Obviously, my feelings were hurt, he said during an appearance at the Postmortem podcast, Her Flickering Myth. You know, I had just done 2 movies. Forgive me if I sound defensive. They were both at 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Even though they didn't get theatrical releases, they were well regarded. And I did create the character and nurture the franchise for 3 fucking decades. Making the situation more difficult for him is the fact that his own version of the series hasn't actually ended. It was hard not to feel like I was being patronized. They just wanted our approval, which I strenuously denied them, said Mancini. The studio asked if he and producer David Kirshner wanted to be executive producers on the film. We said, no thank you, because we had our own going, thriving business with Chucky. I hesitate to say too much about it because I don't want to sound like I'm bellyaching too much, but the producers of that movie are the producers of It. How would they feel if there was some legal loophole that allowed David Kirshner and I to swoop in and make our own It movie with our own version of Pennywise and say, hey guys, we would love to put your names on it? I imagine they wouldn't like it. With that in mind, it's about more than just money for Mancini. That's how I feel. The people who are making that movie, they don't know how that's going to affect my livelihood. It's not just a paycheck. It's very personal. MGM screwing with that potentially.
Yeah. So yeah, he's pretty not happy. He's really not happy with it.
Mm.
Oh boy.
I mean, we did see what, the new one's going to be regarding about what they're going to do to Chucky. Instead of just being a regular play doll, it's going to be almost like a robotic kind of thing.
Right.
JMC147 asks, the producers of the new It, and I believe so.
Yes. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Right.
Oh god, Darth Necros says, I'd love to see them do their version of It with Walken as Pennywise.
That would be pretty funny, yeah.
I definitely I'm going to pre-order tickets for it now, just to help nudge the studio along to actually greenlight that project.
I don't know. I mean, like, I saw clips of Christopher Walken and Peter Pan live, so I don't know. Maybe that isn't really such a good idea. Although, well, no, considering he'd be playing Pennywise, he would probably be doing some singing and dancing. So, yeah, we're back to my Peter Pan live example.
Oh, God.
I mean, Walken has been known for doing singing and dancing. It just depends on who's the director and how are they told to emote.
Well, Christopher Walken in Peter Pan Live played the character like he was drunk, and not in the Jack Sparrow drunken pirate sort of way, but in the actor got totally wasted right before the camera started rolling because he didn't want to be there kind of way.
David Parody.
Oh boy.
Okay, maybe it's not the best thing to joke about his drinking problem.
Very true. All right. Well, that covers the Chucky news. So, I guess if you want to look into
Toby Kirkby says, of course, it just needs a little more cowbell.
Yes. Next time that we're gonna have Walker play as any character, we just need him to have more cowbell.
Dragonlord, the King of Dragons, says Johnny Depp for Pennywise. And actually, I was like, normally when I hear Johnny Depp for anything, I'm like, not again. But now I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Then again, I'd rather be Pennywise. That's just me.
That'd be cool. That would be interesting to see it.
What is it with you, Decker, and wanting to be characters that are notoriously famous for eating or like killing children?
I was going to suggest that you could be Georgie, but I think maybe I should hold my tongue, but I didn't.
So I would be the first child that you ate on camera.
Yes.
Wow, that's how you treat me in that situation.
I just like the idea of Georgie with a goatee.
And long hair.
Just trying to remake it ourselves and just having things like that.
The Asylum would look at this movie and go, wow, maybe people will stop making fun of us for a while.
Speaking of which, I got a little something in the mail the other day.
Oh, boy.
A little surprise that I was not expecting or had any desire for in any way, shape, or form.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Decker, and a Happy New Year.
It's the one thing you pull out of the stocking and you're like, and you just put it right back in underneath all of the little candy canes and shit. Just...
Oh, man. I know now that I have to get you guys a gift, so that could be compensated for the fact that you got basically a lump of coal.
Oh, God. Warp Speed Starship in 092571 says Atlantic Rim Job. Brandon Kilgore says Atlantic Rim Job. No one special says Atlantic Rim is horrible. And I assume as much. Based on the little thing back here. The Asylum presents. The Asylum presents Atlantic Rim. Why?
Oh, boy.
It's a Region 2 DVD, but that doesn't matter for me. I got DVD fab. I can rip the shit out of it anyway.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that Suspiria review.
Yeah.
Eventually, I know, eventually.
Well, the first thing I have to do is my work.
Right, of course.
Yes.
The first thing you have to do is find the movie, watch the movie, write a script about the movie, and then film yourself reviewing the movie, and then put the review together.
Well, that's like 1 in 6 of what I have to do.
And then upload the movie.
All right. Well, not upload the movie. If I drag the wrong file over for the upload, who am I in trouble?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll be saying, like, Decker, is this a commentary without you commentating?
So, whoopsie.
Oopsie. All right. Well,
Oopsie.
all right. Well, let's cover some other news. This one actually surprised me a few weeks ago when I first read about it, because a lot of people know about Troma, right? Troma, the little independent studio that produces some exploitive horror movies, the ranks of, Happy, what was it, like, Thanksgiving and...
No, not Thanksgiving. The Thanksgiving was a different...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Poultrygeist. I'm sorry.
Poultrygeist, yes.
Poultrygeist. I'm dumb.
That's the only Troma film I've reviewed so far, I believe.
Yeah, there's Poultrygeist, Tromeo and Juliet...
Nukem High.
Mm-hmm. And for our today's subject, we are going to be talking about Toxic Avenger, because apparently the rights to Toxic Avenger have been purchased by Legendary Pictures.
Which has me worried.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they could make a really high budget Toxic Avenger, but the thing with Troma films is they don't have to be really high budget. It's the spirit of Troma. That's the thing. It's like Asylum movies have a certain feel to them. They're really low budget, and they're really cranked out, and they're pretty damn shitty. And it's like, please, dear God, we're making a cash grab here. We know it. None of us like this, but we have to do it because we have bills to pay.
Yeah.
Troma films are really low budget, but it seems when I watched Poultrygeist, the actors and the writing and everything coming together, everyone really seemed to enjoy making the thing. They knew they were making a piece of shit, but that was part of the fun.
Yeah. Essentially, Lloyd Kaufman has been really well known for just making whatever movie that you want. Just step away from the mainstream Hollywood cinema. And this really surprised me. I don't know why he wanted to allow the rights of Toxic Avenger to go to Legendary Pictures, but I'm sure that we'll look more into it. So, Creepy, it's your turn.
Alrighty then. Troma's Toxic Avenger movies are gleefully wild and gross and nihilistic, to the point where Toxie himself has become the mascot for Troma brand. But modern Hollywood's insatiable hunger for superheroes can't even ignore cult classics for very long. According to The Hollywood Reporter, actual movie studio Legendary, no offense Troma, has picked up the right to make a big-budget, mainstream target remake of the Toxic Avenger with original directors and Troma founders Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz on board as producers. Legendary is reportedly planning to turn the Toxic Avenger into a franchise, even though it's already been a franchise for a long time, including a cartoon, as seen above. That is where I knew the character first and foremost, before anything else. I knew of the Toxic Crusader cartoon.
I'm sure as for a lot of people who saw it as, kids in the 90s.
Right. But maybe now they could get Tom Cruise in one of these movies or something.
PFI Red Ninja asked... PFI Red Ninja asked in chat, I was wondering when your next review is, Dagger Shadow. I've been eagerly waiting for it and can't wait. Also, want to say I love your work and your hair, and keep up being cool. Thank you. And I intend to get it out before Christmas. I actually intended to get it out long before now, but Christmas season's busy. And also, I suck at doing things anymore, I think. I just really need to just do things. But it's filmed. It is not filmed. It's scripted. It's all I got to do is film, edit, upload, boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the hard part done.
Where was I? Okay. No writer or director is currently attached to the project, because why would they want to be? But surely there's someone out there who wants to make a superhero movie. I'm pretty sure there is, but not this one. Even if it is one about a janitor who falls into a vat of toxic waste. That means this is unrelated to the last attempt to remake The Toxic Avenger, which had one of the directors of Sausage Party on board.
Wait,
Yay.
what?
Yay!
Oh, man. Okay. Is there anything else? No, there's not. So, yeah, this is going to be... I don't know what to say about this. So you're taking what is essentially an indie cult classic that is filled to the brim with gore and nudity and all that stuff, and you're going to try to make it mainstream. That's going to be very difficult.
Well, they did make it into a children's cartoon show, so
I guess so. But Lloyd Kaufman was kind of behind it, and yeah, and it was the 90s. I mentioned this in the Back to the Future podcast that there was a time that around the 80s and 90s that they would make, Saturday morning cartoons based off of rated R movies.
Oh, there's all those lovely NES games based on R-rated slasher flicks.
Exactly.
Right.
We live in a different time now.
Very.
Scott Duncan saying something wrong with the live stream. I can't get it to go live.
Uh-oh.
Damn you, Google!
The internet is against us. So the internet does not want to enjoy us having a nice Christmas live stream.
No.
Darth Necrosis says Rambo, RoboCop, and Police Academy had cartoons as well. Very true. They were very close to having an Alien animated series, but that never came to pass.
Damn or yay, I don't know.
I don't know either. It probably would have sucked.
Yeah, but at the same time, would it have been fun sucky?
From what I've seen in concept art, it looked pretty cool, but I don't know how much they had to water it down just to sell toys. I have no idea.
Omar Harris says there were kids' toys for Alien and Predator. And yeah, okay. I owned a ton of the little kids' toy Alien stuff, like the bull alien and the snake alien.
Right. Speaking of Alien, I guess we can go over to our next topic, which we did, Digger has been talking about the newer Alien movies that have been coming out, and there's been a lot of talks about expanding the Alien cinematic universe. So, yeah, I know. It's because everybody wants to be one, apparently. Even Universal tried to do it with their monster movies, and look how that turned out. Okay, so yes, the Alien universe expands in 2019. Official social media accounts tease. Next year will mark the 40th anniversary of Ridley Scott's Alien, and we've been hearing rumblings that certain things are in the works as part of the celebration. Recently, it was rumored that some sort of TV series was being developed. Oh, well, took the words right out of my mouth, apparently. But we have no official word on any of that just yet. But this week, the brand's social accounts are teasing something else. Over on the official Alien Anthology Instagram account, you'll find 2 posts below that are hashtagged Amanda Ripley. And the motion images are part of a 6-part dossier exposing the secret history of Weyland Yutani. Each of the images also indicate that the Alien universe expands 2019, which sure piqued our curiosity. Amanda Ripley is, of course, Ellen Ripley's daughter, introduced in the video game Alien Isolation.
Well,
We do
technically, she was introduced in Aliens. It's just she was really old and already died.
Yeah, but I guess more of a proper introduction.
Just saying, this is my job to be as pedantic as fucking possible.
Yeah, what he said. We do know that she'll be back in next year's comic book sequel, Aliens Resistance. But what are these Instagram posts teasing? Only time will tell. And there's the Instagram. I would like to play it, but I'm sure we'll get copyrights. But yeah, these are what the pictures look like. So if you're interested in learning more, then you can go over to the Alien Anthology Instagram account. So
if they want to shove this whole Alien franchise into a TV series, and if it's just like a desperate cash grab, why not do what Jim Henson do? Why not just go whole hog, admit that they're doing this for the money, and release something like the Muppet Babies, like only with aliens?
Well, they already have a Muppet Babies on Disney Junior.
Yeah, I would watch a children's show with fun-loving chestbursters.
Yeah, a chestburster pops up into a scientist's chest and says, "Hello, kids. Today we're going to learn about the inside, what's inside of a body. This right here is the intestines. They're very important." And then
So two of the chestbursters are playing. One of them breaks part of the resin on the hive wall, and then they're in a lot of trying to hide it in all these crazy, zany ways until Xenomorph Queen comes in and is like, "Oh, you nasty little chesty burster. Now just admit that you're wrong, and everything will be okay." And it admits is wrong, and then they rip it in half. So don't fucking break the hive. There's the moral of the story. Oh god.
Oh boy.
And Wired got derailed. I'm so sorry, everyone.
We do have a $5 comment from James Conlon who says Jurassic Park was going to have a cartoon show and it looked very interesting. I did hear rumors about that a while ago, but I didn't find any proof. Maybe they found it recently. I have no idea.
You know, it's weird, but I remember hearing, I think there was supposed to be something like that, but back in, let's see, the first Jurassic Park movie came out in the summer of '93.
And stayed in theaters until '98.
Right. But I want to say that I remember something about, supposedly they were going to make they were going to make a cartoon series. That was what it was. And it was supposed to air on Fox.
Not too surprising. Fox was... I mean, Fox, the Fox...
Both Wine says that it's on Bloody Disgusting. I believe he's talking about the not completed Jurassic Park cartoon information.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. I'll have to take a look into that.
Right.
But yeah, continue, Creepy. I'm actually interested.
Well, I don't really know a whole lot about it. There was some different ideas. The part one was where the park... I think it was the park had never completely closed, they had turned it into a nature preserve or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Still, they still needed security systems and everything. So, of course, once a week, something is going to go wrong that, the one or more of the dinosaurs gets out.
I see. Almost like a monster of the week kind of thing, except it's a dino of the week.
Right.
And probably the kids would have been the main characters, and
Exactly. Yeah.
and they probably would have tried to learn more about the dinosaurs, try to put maybe some educational things into it.
Yep, that would have been it, probably.
Not too surprising.
Yeah.
Crystal Wing 2149 is asking, what about a Jaws cartoon? And I don't see why not. They did make a Tremors TV series.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of Tremors, oh my god, I'm in a roll today, aren't I?
Segways!
Segue into our next.
Did anybody know that they made a Free Willy Saturday morning cartoon show?
Why?
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That just goes to show you that they would make a cartoon on anything.
Was there a Home Alone cartoon?
I don't think so.
Every week he just so happens to be left alone and shit goes on. It's
I don't think so. I think that I think there was a cartoon with Macaulay Culkin, but I don't think it was
Yeah.
that. And I'm not talking about the Page Master, by the way. But I think there was an animated series based off of one of the movies that Macaulay Culkin was in.
I just know that Macaulay Culkin recently guest starred on Angry Video Game Nerd, so I think things are looking up in his life.
Yeah, apparently. Everybody's been posting in the comments about like, oh man, he looks like he's cleaned up and sobered up, and he looks happy, which I'm happy for him. That's good for him. Good for him. Okay, so yeah, let me see if I can find that. Here it is. I found it. So yeah, going into our next segue, which I'm back in a roll again, everybody. So yes, speaking of Tremors, yes, it has been confirmed that there will be a Tremors 7, according to Michael Gross. Michael Gross signed on for Tremors 7.
Is it Gross or Gross?
Gross. I don't know. You're the expert in this, Decker, not me. Is it Gross or Gross?
I can't pronounce anyone's last name.
Okay, so Michael has confirmed that there's going to be Tremor 7. Or maybe it's Kyle. I don't know. So, whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
Go ahead.
You can be certain that when the Tremors franchise finally kills off Michael Gross, it will have truly reached its end. Of all the long-time quasi-horror franchises out there, none of them are so dependent upon the popularity and long-running appeal of a single character as Tremors. Alien! From its Kevin Bacony beginnings in 1990, when it was just a supporting character, to becoming the straw that stirs the drink, Burt Gummer is the heart and soul of anything Tremors-related. He's also the main reason why we gave Tremors a generous position in our ranking of 60 different horror franchises back in October. Call it the Michael Gross bump. And so, fans of the series will no doubt be pleased that Gross has announced his participation in yet another installment, Tremors 7. Enough so that they will forget all about that pilot for the Kevin Bacon Tremors series that just said, fuck it, you're not getting that.
Yeah.
That announcement comes hot on the heels of this year's Tremors 6: A Cold Day in Hell, in which the graboid hunting gang, including Jimmy Kennedy as Gummer's son Travis, head up to the Arctic to do battle with a snowy offshoot of the graboid menace. The actor made the announcement to fans via Facebook, with the film presumably arriving in the fall of 2019. Tremors fans will need to let it know I have just agreed to the terms of a contract for a 7th film, Ross wrote on Facebook. My best estimates is that Burt Gummer will begin his hunt for graboids and other nefarious forms of wildlife in the fall of 2019. We nearly had a full-on Tremors revival in the last year, as Kevin Bacon-led sequel to the original film was intended to become a TV series, but it ultimately wasn't picked up after the pilot was filmed. Looks like Tremors will stay in feature film territory, at least for the conceivable future.
Yeah, Dark Necrosis says, Tremors looks like it's trying to compete with The Land Before Time with sequels, which, little plug and promotion, I actually recently did a Land Before Time podcast with all 14 sequels in the TV series, if you're interested in checking that out. But yeah, so that's 7 Tremors movies, which is... yeah, it's getting to be quite up there, alongside with other franchises like the the Hellraiser movies and the Puppet Master.
The Summer of Tremors!
Well, he already covered all the latest. He's up to date with Tremors, so I don't think he needs to do
the
that.
TV series.
Yeah, maybe you can do a summer based off of a season or something.
I've been waiting for the TV series to come out on Blu-ray. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and get it on DVD.
And then when it comes out on Blu-ray, you'll be like, damn it. Oh, well. So, yeah, looks like that's something else to add in on your repertoire. Oh, well. Let's see. Both Wine, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, says, just recently the Leprechaun new film released. Yeah, we actually did talk about Leprechaun Returns in a couple of our Live and Wired episodes. We talked last week on why the original actor for Leprechaun did not want to return to reprise his role. So you can go check that out.
Because he has little kids. A little boy of only 17.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, he gave his reason. I respect that.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes, he did give his reason that the reason why he is not going back to reprising his role is because he has kids and he does not want to, star in any movie that, wouldn't like he wouldn't share with his kids, which is, like I said in the last live stream, is perfectly fine because there have been actors like Cheech Marin and Eddie Murphy who have done that in the past. So it makes sense.
If he had said this during the 80s, the general public would have laughed at them and wondered why he wasn't bringing his kids to see the R-rated film that he starred in where he played a serial killer that was slicing up babysitters.
Yay!
Fun for the whole family.
Oh, Scott Duncan saying Hellraiser cartoon series.
Oh, wow.
We have
that
such
would be
sights to show you.
And they're all in hand-drawn animation.
I mean, if it was something like heavy metal, I'd be totally behind that, but I'm pretty sure it'd be something like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, pretty much so. I would say that it would be starring like some regular guy that's never been in any of the Hellraiser movies, and he's like
he's the main character.
He's the main character. And he's going through some stuff right now. Like maybe he's going through like some first world problem issue, like, oh, I can't pay my mortgage or something. And then he finds the cube, and then he summons Pinhead and the other Cenobites. And instead of like torturing him, they're following him around invisible like a guardian angel and helping him give advice about stuff.
I want to see this show now. Someone make it.
There was a cartoon show that did the same thing.
God, the Devil, and Bob, yes.
With the Little Shop of Horrors. Like,
oh, no.
I forgot about that show.
And Audrey, too, was giving him, like, relationship advice or something. Like, somehow or another, Audrey, too, was, like, helping him out with his problems.
Yes.
Jack Brand saying, a lighthearted cartoon in 50 Shades of Grey.
No, that's impossible. I will not do that.
And Bullfwine says it's Bullvine.
Oh, so, Bullvine.
Bullvine. So it's not Bullfwine.
I'm sorry. Friday the 13th cartoon. Okay, this one will be easy. Okay, if it came out in the 80s, like when the Friday the 13th franchise was starting to become really popular, I can imagine that it'll be like Camp Lazlo. A whole group of, kids hanging out in camp. And then Jason could be like the main bully. And he would like harass everybody, kind of like, going into the Hanna-Barbera thing in which like, not only Jason will be there, but maybe like a whole bunch of scary monsters. And then the kids will have to like thwart him in some way. And then there has to be at least one subplot about like pulling a prank off of the camp counselor. This sounds really awful, but I'm putting into the mentality of it being an 80s cartoon, which will most likely be done by either Hanna-Barbera or Filmation.
Right.
Omega Gaming says, I know this isn't a gaming channel, but the new pirate MMO game Atlas seems that it is dead on launch.
Ah, that's too bad.
I have no knowledge of this, but just hearing that new game dead, that's always depressing.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of depressing, there's that Sonic movie poster.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
the time has come, everybody. I
Yep.
think that we should finally cover this monstrosity, this glorious masterpiece of what the hell.
It was really funny, though, the day it dropped on the internet, and it was just so many reactions like, oh my god, how, why, what the hell, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like, well, yeah, I mean, Patricia brought this shit up months ago, but we've known. We've been talking about it on Live and Wired plenty.
We've talked about this for a very long time, and yeah.
I mean, this is the first look we got at the poster, which is not loading for some reason.
Yeah, it's not loading, but don't worry, I'll find a picture of it. But yeah, let me. Okay, I'm gonna read this beautiful masterpiece that is Sonic the Hedgehog. It is
Jack Brand saying Sonichu the movie, and I think no, that would actually be a little closer to the character.
What is Sonic? Is Sonic going to start telling kids to stay in school and not be homosexual?
Oh god damn it!
I mean, that's what I remember of Sonichu. So.
Oh Jesus!
Oh my god! Okay,
I didn't know that much detail about Sonichu.
Okay, let's continue.
Now because I really don't want to know. I want to have my memories wiped to back when I was happy.
Okay, I'm gonna read this now. Sonic the Hedgehog is making his way to the big screen, and IGN has the exclusive first look at a live-action take on the beloved character, which we cannot show for some reason because this is not working. Instagram unexpectedly closed the connection. Thanks, Instagram.
How
This poster
unexpected.
shows. Okay, this poster shows a couple of key updates to Sonic, and we had the opportunity to speak with the creative team behind the movie to find out the details.
What I love about this particular article is they play it completely straight. Like the writer and the editor, I don't know, none of them, like, by the time it reached the internet, none of them were saying, "What the fuck?" That was all taken out. Let's talk about these interesting revelations.
Okay. This telling of Sonic's story sees him as a bit of a fish or hedgehog out of water. Sonic is voiced by Ben Schwartz, who finds himself in our present day, wherein he develops a relationship with James Marden's Tom Wachowski and finds himself at the odds with Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik. As expected, mayhem ensues. The production team behind the movie opted to go for a more realistic take on Sonic, down to its updated new kicks than the more cartoony version we've seen in the past. The filmmaker considered Ted to be an appropriate analog for the upcoming Sonic's movie's integration of a CG character into a real-world setting.
Except Ted doesn't look like a weird, hairy guy wearing a bear head.
Yeah, he looks like a regular teddy bear. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna look for the poster. I'm sorry. I need to see it again. Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster.
Oh god.
I'm gonna just look it up because I need to see it again. Oh god.
You apparently feel that we all need this in our lives.
Okay, there we go. That's what it looks like, everybody. Take it in. Take it in with all its glory. Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Okay, we're done.
What is it looking at right now?
Oh,
Okay.
geez.
The first thing you notice about this character is that he has fur, a bit of a no-brainer considering what he is, but still a markedly
That's not
different.
necessarily the first damn thing I noticed, actually.
Darth Necrosis says the damn thing looks like a creepy pasta come to life, and I'm like, this is like the CGI of Bendy.
Oh, okay.
Wolfvine says Pikachu looked better.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. Pikachu did look a lot better. Okay, so let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah, this was always stage one of adapting to what the real world is and what a real animal would be like. Executive producer Tim Miller, director Deadpool says about giving Sonic fur. It would be weird and it would feel like he was running around nude, like he was some sort of otter-like thing. It was always for us, and we never considered him anything different. It's part of what integrates him into the real world and makes him a real creature. And there's the shoes. We looked at different variations of what shoes he's worn and try to pay homage to that and also make it current and present day of what we think of Sonic will wear today.
Red sneakers with white laces, done.
Okay, let's see. The most challenging part of Sonic's updated design isn't revealed yet. It's his eyes, which... Oh man, if we were to see what his eyes would look like, I think everybody would have just gone insane. Let's see. I don't think Sega was entirely happy with the eye decision, but these sorts of things you go. It looks kind of
Sega was okay with a lot of this, but they fucked the eyes up so bad that even Sega was like, "What are you doing here?"
Oh,
wait a minute.
Don't worry. We'll get to what Sega thinks about this later.
Oh.
Okay.
in my head.
But everything is a discussion, and that's kind of the goal, which is to only change what is necessary and stay true to the rest of it. He's not going to feel like a Pixar character would, because I don't think that's the right
those
aesthetic.
are designed well.
Because Pixar movies make us feel good, unlike this. Makes us want to cry.
If this turns out to actually be an amazing movie and one of my favorites, I'm going to be eating so much fucking crow.
Yeah, I think I even read somewhere like they will eat their own hat if they see that the Sonic movie is good, and you know what I mean. I cannot wait to see it. Anyway, we don't know what the eyes look like, Nicole7891. We do not know yet, but I'm sure that time will tell.
They're saying he's only depicted with one eye. I think they're talking about the fact that technically the whites of his left and right eye meet in the middle.
Oh God, no.
Oh man.
I mean, Spyro's eyes are separated from each other, but Sonic's eyes technically are connected in a lot of his depictions.
Yeah, true. And are we going with classic Sonic, or we're going to go with modern Sonic where his eyes are green?
Well, that's just fucking mutant Sonic over there, so I don't...
Okay. So I think we're done here. I don't think there's much.
Are we?
Oh no, we're
Will
not.
we ever be done?
Oh no, we're not. We're actually not done with this at all.
Every episode of Live and Wired has had new shit about the Sonic movie.
Oh no, we're not
just
done.
The poster, and they talked about the design of Sonic. I didn't know that they were going to do that.
No,
but at the same time, we
here.
knew that this is around the direction they were going with the whole damn time. So at the same time, I wasn't super surprised. Goku's on DBZ said, or Goku Sun DBZ. Yeah, not Goku's on DBZ. I know Goku's on DBZ. But Goku Sun DBZ dropped $2 saying, thoughts on Men in Black International trailer. And I don't think I've seen that one. Damn it.
Yeah. I should have fit that into the list, but we have so much to talk about, including this. So... yeah, let's
Scott
finish.
Duncan's asking, why does the poster look like Decker in a Sonic cosplay? And well, Scott, Bill's got a little high this month, and you gotta do what you gotta do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what the original creators thought about the reveal of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And apparently they want me to subscribe, which no thank you.
I assume it was like not necessarily a reaction to the reveal, but a reaction to the reaction that where as soon as it went up, they weren't necessarily paying attention to that. They just heard, like, from out on high.
No, Decker. This is Japan. I take it that they would have slightly more restraint.
Yeah!
There you go. That's better. All right. Let's take a look into this. With the reveal of the new Sonic the Hedgehog live-action movie, lots of people have been reacting to what seems to be a major departure for the much-loved Blue Hedgehog, so much that the original creators behind the games have now weighed in. In a series of tweets kindly compiled and translated by Sonic Japan News, various people who have worked on the original Sonic the Hedgehog games have voiced their opinion on the new design. Starting with Naoto Oshima, the original character designer for Sonic, he said, Sonic is a fairy of hedgehog, so he doesn't need to be designed closer to a real hedgehog, even in a live-action movie. Mickey doesn't become a mouse in live action, does he? Because there are fairies who can live on when people believe in them. Following that was Guru Hiru, the character designer for Sonic Unleashed. Oh boy.
Which so he's the guy behind the werehog?
I guess so.
And he's got some shit to say.
I heard that the Sonic movie was going to be a mixture of live action and animation, but I was not expecting this. Okay. Wow. When you shocked the guy who did Sonic the Werehog
with the stretchy arms.
You've done something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Then came Shiro Meikawa's take on the new design, who was also a writer on Sonic Team. Wow. They made a totally unexpected arrangement there, Raffle. And finally, the former head of Sonic Team, Yuji Naka, had his say. From the comments here, it looks like it has been badly received. I wonder if this movie is actually good when you watch it. I see many movies based off of anime or games that are unpopular. I wonder why that happens. The final point from Naka is actually quite easily answered. Anime and gaming live-action adaptations are terrible because people making critical decisions on these productions know nothing about said anime or games. That aside, I do share these sentiments with the new versions of Sonic, especially Oshima's complaint about it being unnecessarily realistic. The fur is one thing, but the human hands really creep me out. Admittedly, we have yet to see this new design properly, but with the comments about Sonic's eyes being changed for this new live-action movie, it doesn't exactly fill me with confidence that this will be turning out good in any way.
Oh god. Epic Jason X9000 says, I do not believe in fairies. But Epic Jason X9000, don't you know anytime someone says I do not believe in fairies, somewhere there's a fairy that falls down dead?
Yeah, that's true. Oh boy.
Does everybody start clapping, for fuck's sake? We gotta do this. We can't just do this. We gotta save it.
Do it for the fairies. Do it for the fairies.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Do it for the fairies, or they'll kick your ass.
Both Vine saying, clap harder. Clap! Oh boy.
Okay. Wow. What do we say about this? My God. Okay. I'm gonna pull something else out. Something with more dignity. What am I kidding? No, I'm not.
I was about to say. I was like, say what? Since when?
I'm trying to be positive here, creepy.
Half the things on this show are just...
Omega Gaming dropped $2 saying, what if they added the OG Edge Boy, Shado?
Oh boy, now we're gonna get a whole dumpster fire.
So you gotta have Shadow walking around looking fucking nothing like Sonic outside of he happens to have quills, but they're pointed the other way anyway. And people like, oh my god, was that Sonic? Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Anytime there's something vaguely hedgehog-like, everyone's like, that must be Sonic. It's like, no! No! God damn it. Blue!
No.
Get the three of the blue! You colorblind bastards.
Okay, well... Okay, so while we're getting ourselves calm from that, so I'm gonna ask you guys, what do you think is the worst movie ever made?
Yes. Now, I could think worst movie ever made. Like, in what regards? Like, theatrically released? Or, like, home video? I tried to make a horror movie with my older brother when I was 14, and it turns out that we don't know how to write or direct.
Well, in regards to our article, I would say theatrically.
Oh, good. Then I'm off the hook. Okay.
Really? So many people are going to want to see this now.
Oh,
right?
Epic Jason X9000 says Hellraiser Revelations. Gojira fan says Godzilla's Revenge. Darth Necrosis is James Cameron's Avatar.
Ooh.
Brandon Kilgore says Mark Wahlberg. Just, I guess anything he said. Mega Gaming says Predators.
PFI Red Ninja says, can we just say the new Sonic movie?
Oh.
Sure. But sadly, no. Some people may argue about a whole bunch of really bad movies. Hand of Manos, Showgirls, Dragon Ball
Manos
Evolution.
Hands of Fate.
Yeah.
Manos, of course, being the Spanish word for hands.
Right.
Making
Manos
the title of
Hands
the
of
movie Hands, the
True.
Hands of Fate.
That's right. I meant that movie. Then there's also Showgirls. Some people may say Battlefield Earth. Some people may say Dragon Ball Evolution. But according to a recent poll, yes, we're pulling out polls again, Twilight has been called the worst movie of all time.
Come on, I'm not exactly the target audience. I haven't seen it, but at the same time, I am very doubtful that this is really the worst. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's pretty bad. There's plenty of people have plenty of things to say about it. But I haven't personally seen it, and also I've seen plenty of theatrically released shite.
Yeah. So, Creepy, why don't you give us a little take on this?
Oh, sure. Give me
Though if we're going by theatrical releases, that kind of puts the Asylum off the hook.
Yeah, but...
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
I was going to bring up Atlantic Rim again, Decker, but...
Damn it.
It seems as though sparkling vampires and pouty teens have fallen out of favor lately, with Twilight picking up the title of Worst Movie Ever.
Worst movie ever.
Before I get kicked to death by a gang of angry Robert Pattinson fans, actually a lot of his fans didn't like that movie all that much. Just let me tell you that this isn't my personal opinion.
I just keep seeing her being swung around in a circle and kicking the same poor bastard in the face.
I wonder if this movie has any time travel where she gets to do it again and again and again and again.
That's actually their form of time travel, like how Superman goes around the world. She just spins and kicks faces.
Okay, gotcha.
I've never seen Twilight, so would have to choose Jack and Jill as the worst movie ever, which made me both angry for obvious reasons and sad for Adam Sandler. There's a statement I never thought I'd have to hear myself read out loud. No, the title was actually voted for by the public on the website Ranker, so don't shoot the messenger. Via Giphy. Okay. Who provided us with the spinny kick time travel thing there.
Spinny kick in the face.
Time travel through spinny kick in the face. The movie, which spawned a couple of sequels that also feature on the list of worst movies ever and were a book series, and was very popular with teenage girls, was based on the popular book series by Stephanie Meyer and made megastars out of its lead actors Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, and Taylor Lautner.
And also that fan fiction that eventually became its own thing that is known as 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that too. But popular doesn't always translate to good or worthwhile, now does it? And it's currently the highest rated worst movie ever, according to the site. I can remember just like a few short, like as far like back in like 2011 and 2012, when like if you wanted some easy clickbait on YouTube, and to make a name for yourself, get some attention, all you had to do was review Twilight.
Omega Gaming dropped $5 saying the DBZ live action only brought one good thing. It pissed off the OG creators so much, he went to create the Tournament of Power story.
Yeah, I guess for DBZ fans, I guess they kind of have to thank Dragon Ball Evolution. Otherwise, Akira Toriyama wouldn't be like creating Dragon Ball Super or any of the current movies that are going on. So I guess you could say without Evolution, we wouldn't have the new Broly movie.
That's true.
It's like Evolution comes out. He's like, fuck it, I can't let it end on that. If GT
wouldn't get me out of retirement, then this will.
And it's not just the general public slamming the trilogy. Auto commentary website RiffTrax, run by Mike Nelson, Bill Corbett, and Kevin Murphy, former stars of Mystery Science Theater 3000, who we can safely say know bad movies when they see them. Like when I said Decker, yes, I'm still doing that.
Okay.
Has also put Twilight as its worst movie ever top spot. Ouch.
Okay, I trust their opinions pretty strongly. So yeah, I'm guessing if I do watch Twilight, I'm not going to enjoy it. But worst ever? I'm like, really? Is it really that bad? Now I'm going to have to watch Twilight. Damn it! My brother was trying to get me to review Twilight ever since I started reviewing movies.
This is going to be something I end up having to do a crossover with you again, isn't it?
Oh, I don't like suffering if it's not with you.
Well, it's kind of true because, Creepy, from what I remember, once upon a time, our good buddy Tim Deanna was doing a review on all the Twilight movies, and I believe that you even cameoed in one of them.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that does remind me. He recently posted on his Twitter that he has a new Something Cinematic website up.
Oh, cool. We should definitely have him back in the future.
Right. Or was I? Yeah. Okay. According to IMDb, the worst... Oh, wait. However, over on IMDb, Twilight has a 5.2 rating and a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes. Not great, but certainly not the worst movie ever territory, surely. According to IMDb, the worst film is called Saving Christmas, and it has a 1.5 rating. Not good. I've not seen the movie, so
Are you sure you didn't see? Did we watch that one together?
I don't think so, because it has Kirk Cameron in it, and...
Oh, no, that one. Okay, there was something else, some other Christmas movie we watched as a Patreon riff one time.
Yeah, I don't think this one is in the public
domain. Terrible, like, no plot Christmas movie. It happened to happen on Christmas, and there was nothing to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone got sick, and then they got better, and there was, like, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing. It was just like, I moved here to this town, and they celebrate Christmas, and I'm part of the church. And it was like that for 90 minutes. And I'm like, what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? This is a slice of life story, and I was not prepared for that. I was prepared for plots. It didn't have it.
Don't know what to tell you. It stars Cameron and Darren Dwayne, I think.
Sure.
And according to this trailer, it's weird as fuck.
There's one more.
One review opens, this movie is so utterly wretched, not only in its execution, but also in its conception. Oof. There's also a bunch of movies with a big fat 0 on Rotten Tomatoes, including Saving Christmas, the widely panned Gotti, and Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. Actually, I don't remember hating that one. Not sure how that one got on the list. To be fair, must be some sort of mistake.
Oh god. Okay. Got 50 DKK super chat from Colonel Scrammel saying the Twilight franchise was a spit in the face to the general vampire lore and all in all a plain bad experience in my opinion. # vampires do not sparkle.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the 50 Donkey Kong coins, Colonel Scrammel.
I love Donkey Kong coins.
I have a theory that the reason why all this Twilight bashing has resurfaced again, like it was there for a long time. Like Twilight was the thing to bash. It certainly had its fans, and most of them seemed to be the preteen girls and the middle-aged housewives. But generally speaking, it started to die down when the last movie came out. When the part 2 of Breaking Dawn finally came out, that was around the same time that the fanfare started to taper off. And it was quiet for a little while, but I feel like the reason why the hating on it has come back is because, you had, like we said, it was really popular with preteen girls, with the 9 to 12 set, and girls who were 13, 14. It's been about
I wish I could find a guy like Edward.
Yeah.
Dead.
It's been about 6 it's been about 6 to 8 years since then.
Yeah, that's true.
All of these preteen girls are older now. They're all high school graduate or older or going into college. And what happens when you get to that age and you look back and you remember all the shit you used to be into when you were younger?
That's true. At one point in our lives, we watched a movie or a TV show or played a video game that was generally terrible, but for some reason we enjoy it. It's called a guilty pleasure.
Right. And then, years later when people start remembering that, and it was that movie was terrible or that game was terrible. Why was this popular? How could anyone like this? And of course, because all of a sudden bashing it is the popular thing to do, people are all like, no, I was never into Twilight. No, how can you say that about me? No.
Savage Tiger 13 says, Twilight. We ran out of ideas, so watch Bella pout while Jacob tries to bang her daughter.
We have a $5 comment from Omega Gaming said, group question, what is your favorite spoof movie? Also wanted to say, keep up the good work. Your comedy has helped me through rough times. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. I would say my favorite spoof movie is Robin Hood Men in Tights. It's a
good
movie
one.
that can make me laugh. It's just, I find it hilarious.
My favorite is Airplane.
Fair point.
Oh, it's so I've watched so many of them, and I'm like, when it comes to picking favorites, I'm absolutely terrible at picking favorites. That's the one I can go to. I mean, there's the ones that everyone knows, and it's everyone's like, oh, of course you picked that. Oh, Spaceballs, yeah, sure, yeah, of course you picked Spaceballs, you unimaginative fuck. But then, of course,
Spaceballs is Decker's favorite favorite movie parody because it's science fiction and it has Darth Helmet in it.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that I would like better. I mean, TV series. There's Sledgehammer. That's a favorite, but that's not a movie, and it should be. We need a Sledgehammer movie.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the question. Really do appreciate it. Anyway, while we're still on the topic of Twilight being voted the worst movie of all time, I guess this would be a great time to go over to our Twitter poll for this episode of Live and Wired.
Yes, what is, for reals, the real, true, and actual worst movie of all time?
Yeah.
Now, we don't know yet. Gotta fill in exactly what the things are. Trying to remember, what were the ones people were saying? Let me scroll up a bit.
I think some of them were saying, let's see if I can find it. Some of them were saying James Cameron's Avatar. That was one of them.
Okay.
So I'm going to write that down. Let's see. Another one that they were saying was The Last Airbender.
So both Avatars.
Yes, both of them. Okay, let's go to a non-James Cameron, non-Avatar, The Last Airbender related movie.
There's like Hellraiser Judgment.
Let's see, Predators.
Toby Kirkby saying The Happening.
Okay, The Happening.
I think The Predator is way worse than Predators. I don't think Predators is really... I mean, it's not necessarily what people wanted, which is always a bad thing. To like,
I think that's maybe
not
what that
give
maybe
your
that
customers what they want. It's like, hi, welcome to McDonald's. Have you tried our salad menu? No, bitch, I'm at McDonald's.
Maybe that's what they meant. Let's put in The Predator. Sure, why not? Wait, hold on.
Live action Full Metal Alchemist is the worst movie, says Eli Hawes for $5. So
I guess we'll have to add that in there.
That's that $5 kind of like, here you go, I'm bribing you to get this in. I was like, well, okay, I do accept bribes.
Sure. All right then. So Full Metal Alchemist live action movie.
Damn. Okay. I can't fit the words live action Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, then just put in FMA live action.
Live action, yeah. Simplify.
Okay, we got our 4 choices then.
Hooray!
Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Yes, you have been most helpful in this Twitter poll.
I'm trying to get Live A Full Metal Alchemist. Okay.
We have a comment from Leading Blind for Creepy. Did you ever see Repossessed?
No, I remember Repossessed.
Oh, well.
No, that's a fun little spoof movie with what was it? The name of that actor that I really like a lot. I think he's dead now, which is sad. I thought he was just really, really old and isn't working anymore. I hope that's the case, because that would make me happy. Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen.
Okay.
Leslie Nielsen's still alive, dude.
Oh, cool. Good. I'm happy
at least
again.
I think he is.
If he's not, I'm going to be pissed again.
Did you realize that everyone in
No,
this...
I'm sorry. He is dead. Sorry.
God damn it. You made me happy for a minute. I was going to go run off and get his autograph. Now it's going to look weird because I'm making him up and we're going to be like, stop it, you're desecrating. I'm like, but I just want to shake his hand.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. He is dead. I'm sorry.
Now everyone's arguing if he's dead or not in the chat. I'm having an emotional breakdown here. Okay, so yeah, he was one of the. It's pretty much a spoof of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
And he defeated the devil with rock and roll music.
Jack Brand says Kirk Douglas is still alive. I guess that's good enough.
Okay, Kirk.
Sure.
I'll shake your hand, Kirk. Yeah.
All right. So Decker just recently posted up the Twitter poll. For what is it for real? Is the real, true, and actual worst movie of all time? And
I'm
got
trying to send it to you on Skype, but Skype's being a total ass lately.
Yeah, Skype wasn't working for me this morning for some weird reason.
Yeah, right now it's just telling me, I'm sorry, I don't know what the internet is. I'm like, fuck you, Skype. It also says you're offline.
James, I'm not working. I've never heard of such a thing.
All right, well,
Blair
don't worry.
started
I'll
yeah, I
share
believe
it. I'll share it in the chat.
Linda Blair was effectively Reagan? I don't know. I can't remember words of names. I can't even pronounce names of words.
Okay, everybody, here is the Twitter poll. See you in 30 minutes.
I'm going to ask Santa Claus for the Sorcinator.
Sure. Okay.
You can always tell when Decker gets upset. He starts making up words.
That's one of them. Okay, so let's go. Okay, in the meantime, let's go over to our next article. So
that was Decker, by the way, not you, Patricia.
I know.
Yeah.
Since it is the holidays, I'm sure that a lot of people are doing their Christmas shopping. And you're probably looking for that one special gift that you want to get for your loved ones, or you want to get for yourself, whatever. So for all of you Friday the 13th fans, here is a gift that maybe you would be interested in. We have here, courtesy of NECA, we have the Friday the 13th Part 3 Pamela Voorhees figure. Look at it in its glorious detail.
Someone thought that this was something the world needed.
So how much is it?
Well, let's see what the pre-order says, because right now it's not out yet. It is coming out in the spring of 2019.
Oh, of course.
Okay, according to what this says, if you pre-order it now, it'll cost $32.99.
You know, if you want to get the sexy anime figures, those usually run like 90, 120. So, I mean, this is a steal.
Yeah.
I guess no one's fapping to this one.
Sure.
I hope not, anyways.
Or, well, there you go. That's what it looks like.
Now, don't ask me how I know by heart the approximate range for a cheap, sexy anime figure.
Decker knows because he went looking for them while we were in Japan.
Did you bitch?
But yeah, for anybody who is a huge fan of Friday the 13th, then there you go. There is your possible...
Oh God. Toby Kirkby says, challenge accepted. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, actually, somebody was mentioning about something that Omega Gaming said don't pre-order. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, is this the bad website or something? Maybe I just shared you a bad website, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna dupe everybody. I'm sorry.
Or it might just be the general thing where pre-ordering really, as a practice, it's encouraged a lot, and usually. Not because it's a good thing for the consumer. It just makes the company considerably more money for early sales than they otherwise would have. It's like you get the little pre-order bonus, which is this completely pointless, useless thing that is not going to have any value in 5 minutes.
Fair enough.
I mean, like, I pre-ordered EDF5, and it had the pre-order bonus weapons in it, which I already knew going in were going to be completely pointless. But if I didn't know that, for instance, and I thought I was going to get a real good deal on these nice exclusive weapons, after I get a certain level and they're completely useless, and I'm like, oh, fuck. But, like, I'm still enjoying it personally, because one of the pre-order bonuses for the Ranger was the nice... It was a Akira motorcycle with anime babes on it that shoots lasers. Of course I like this. I don't care if it's going to be underpowered after a few levels. I'm going to keep riding that damn thing.
All right. The comment after that, Brandon Kilgore said, it's sad that the Jason actor in Part 2 passed away, which it's true. I might as well bring that up right now since we're talking about Friday the 13th.
That's a sad.
Mm-hmm. So, actor Steve Dash, who played the adult Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 2, has passed away at the age of 74 due to complications from diabetes. The actor also starred in Alone in the Dark, 13 Sametsi, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, and Mr. Hush. While audiences never saw Dash's face in the Friday the 13th sequel, the film marks the first time we actually got to see Jason Voorhees as a killer in the franchise, forging a new path for the series' future. The original film depicted a group of co-eds attempting to revive a closed summer camp only to be picked off one at a time by an unknown killer. We learned that it was Mrs. Voorhees, whom you can buy the figure today, and you'll get it by next spring. The mother of a boy who drowned in the lake, who was killing the potential counselor so that no future campers could die due to negligence in their part. Mrs. Voorhees was killed in the film's finale, with a sequel depicting an adult Jason stalking the woods with a burlap bag as a mask, likely to keep his facial disfigurements a secret from anyone he encountered. It wouldn't be until the third movie that Jason earned his iconic hockey mask, establishing the visage of the character indefinitely. I can't read. Friday the 13th is one of the most recognizable brands in the world of horror, though it's been nearly a decade since we've seen a new entry in the film series. Well, not for long. As soon as we're getting a reboot pretty soon. Again. I know. I'm sorry. One reason for the series' stagnation comes down to a legal battle between the first film's writer and its director, focusing specifically on Jason himself. Director Sean Cunningham secured the rights to the original film's title and hired screenwriter Victor Miller to flesh out the slasher in the late 70s. The 80s became a massive success, with Cunningham retaining the rights to the title. The specifics of the legal battle centers around the notion of the mask-wearing Voorhees not being created by Miller, which could see future films either having to avoid referencing Friday the 13th or possibly be devoid of Voorhees and the famous hockey mask. So making a Friday the 13th movie without Jason Voorhees.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I mean, in October, a judge granted Miller ownership to the original script, with Cunningham ultimately filing an appeal to the decision, leaving fans wondering how the issue will ultimately be settled. New installments in the series have begun to come together as recently as last year, only for legal hangups to cause the indefinite hiatus. Okay, so right now it's in hiatus because in a previous episode of Live and Wired, we were discussing about how Legendary Pictures wanted to acquire the rights of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and Hellraiser, if I remember. So looks like they're going through their disagreements once again. So this will be quite interesting to see what happens.
Times like this, I wonder how the hell things like Super Smash Brothers actually get made.
Super Smash Brothers for all the horror icons.
Yeah, why not? They're putting how many other motherfuckers in that movie? Who cares?
Yeah, it's true.
Solid Snake and fucking Ruin can't stop beating the crap out of each other. Next thing you know, fucking Pac-Man swoops in, smacks him on the butt, and then Sonic comes and kicks their ass. And then he, starts becoming a juvenile delinquent that makes friends with a police officer, and Jim Carrey comes to ruin his day.
Right.
Must we talk about this Sonic movie again?
Why are you all doing this? Why do we keep coming back to the Sonic movie? It's like a curse.
Okay, Alec Electric gave us $10 saying, "Hey Decker, have you seen the updated inked fan art I made?" I
think maybe, I don't know. I saw the first post that I saw because I responded, liked, and retweeted it. And then there was a second post after it. I don't know if there was another one beyond that. So I saw progression, but I don't know. It was like if it inked, it wasn't like with big thick lines and like splotches and like how I ink, where I just kind of spill ink on the paper like shit, and then I can't use the art because I ruined it.
All right. John Radsey says, "I demand a Pumpkinhead reboot, and I want it now, now, now." Well, okay. Well,
Coleslaw Slaw is asking, when is the RoboCop 2 review coming? Hopefully within the next few days. I got a lot of chores to do tomorrow, but I hope to squeeze in actually filming the review tomorrow, and then just before Christmas getting it up and ready.
Mm-hmm.
I hope.
Yeah. So, answering your question, John, if we do get to hear any information about a Pumpkinhead reboot, we'll let you know. I'm sure we'll discuss about it in another episode of Live and Wired. Okay, so let's go over to our next set of news, which I need to read because I thought this was hilarious. So, the Venom movie, the movie that came out not too long ago, and people have had mixed to negative reviews about it. Now, some people say that they are. Oh, hold on. We have a $5 comment again from.
We have two $5 comments.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have two of them. So. Okay, Eli Haas says, what characters would you like to see in a horror Super Smash Brothers, and what would the game be? I would think it would be like Horror Royale, where we would have maybe like, the classics like Freddy and Jason, they'll have to be there. Maybe we'll put in like Michael Myers, Leatherhead, Leatherface.
Leatherhead's the guy from
Teenage
Turtles cartoons.
Ninja Turtles. Yeah, let's put him there too. I'm kidding. Let's see. We can put in. Since apparently Toxie's going to be more mainstream for the general audience, let's put him in there too. Let's see. Pinhead. Pumpkinhead. Yeah, obviously because of the brand recognition. Let's put in maybe, I don't know. Let's put in what was the guy from Scream? What was his name again?
Ghostface.
Ghostface. Yeah, let's put him into. Let's have everything be all set up in either like forests. We could have it set in Haddonfield. We can have it in. Let's see. We could have it in Elm Street, and then we'll just have everybody just fighting off against each other. And very similar to Mortal Kombat, it has to have fatalities with cut heads, cut body parts, lots of blood.
What I would really like to see is something kind of somewhere in between Power Stone and Dead by Daylight.
Okay.
Something with a relatively large map. Large amount of players hunt each other down and kill each other, where it can be a big clusterfuck of holy shit, but more than likely it's going to be people sneaking up on each other, and then the clash.
Ooh, nice.
Also, the other super chats, Alec Eccentric said, I put it in the reply to the previous post. Thanks, and sorry to interrupt Loud and Wired. No, it's the point. The audience participation is a thing, yes. And we try to get to all the super chats, which does when we get a lot at once, it makes it sound like that's all we're responding to. But
right.
But we also got a $20 super chat from Savage Tiger 13 saying, "Here is my weekly support / blackmail payment. Have a great holiday and don't go too crazy with the nog, unless you invite me over."
Well, it's not nog, but I did bring something for the occasion. I haven't actually drank any of it yet.
I'm actually cutting back. Like, if I just drink eggnog, that's not a problem. I mean, if I don't put anything in it, but I'm actually, like, cutting back in general. Because I was having, like, the evening beer, and now I'm just like, that's getting in the way of getting work done. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll have a beer a week. That'll be my thing. I guess you would consider that a New Year's resolution, except I'm not waiting till the New Year to do it. So.
Okay, two things.
That's fair.
Omega Gaming dropped $2 and said, "Believe it or not, a horror Mortal Kombat does exist."
Oh yeah, cool. that was what's it called again? Jeez, there is a game that's 2D sprites fighting game. Mm-hmm. Where it's a bunch of horror icons beating the crap out of each other. I think it's an indie game. I don't think it was actually officially released. So major licensing issues. It's just like, well, it's just a indie project for free out there.
Here it is. Lazarus Soul 82 says it's called Terror Dome.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Also, the Humble Juan B asks, "Hey, Dicker and Creepy, would you be interested in starring in a horror short film?"
Ooh, that'd be fun. And the plot twist is I was the murderer.
Yes. Who else? But Patricia, the most competent and intelligent person here. And she would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Yes, that's true. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of suggestions for like DLC characters: Candyman, Sam from Halloween. Leprechaun and Pinhead, Ghostface, Chop Top as an assist trophy, Chucky.
I want Ben
Krampus.
Tramer in there.
Yeah.
I want Ben Tramer in there. He's going to look like a sort of palette-swapped Michael Myers, except his knife's actually plastic.
We have 5 pounds from Feral Ferret, who says 1997's The Relic needs a second chance.
I feel like I remember that movie, but I could not tell you a single thing about it. But
I can't even say I remember it. So yeah,
I've never even heard of it.
You're probably right about needing that second chance, because I'm like, the what? Huh?
Yeah.
All I'm thinking about is images of Legends of the Hidden Temple. I'm like, no, that's not it.
Well, that was something altogether different. Although we will be getting to something Nickelodeon related later on in the announcement.
Yeah. $50 from Alec Entrick, who says, by the way, Merry Christmas, and do you want me to make you some fan art of you too, Creepy?
Please do so if you will.
Normally, you have to pay the artist to make the fan art. This is weird.
He offered.
Well, not the fan art, but to make like a commission. It's like, hi, you're a nice artist. Here's some money. Thanks for the work. It's like the artist is like, here's some money. Can I do work? I'm confused. Satan? Is that you?
Well, hey, by the way, are those 3 clones of yours still worshiping Satan in the backyard?
I try to ignore them, and I hope they'll go away.
How's that working out for you?
Not well.
All right.
They've been playing with the dog.
Uh,
That's why she keeps peeing in my bed.
I'm sorry. Okay, so let's see. Continuing on while that happens. As mentioning before, Venom, that's what I was talking about. So the movie had mixed reviews from a lot of people.
Sorry, Lazarus Soul 82 dropped $5 and says, and Count Chocula, Blueberry, and Frankenberry are the bosses.
Yes! We're still talking about that cinematic universe, aren't we?
Oh man, I still cannot get over that. Someone is making that. Someone actually wanted to make that.
They're still wanting it, by the way. Yeah, it's true. We did discuss about that on the last episode of Live and Wired.
Yeah. And
Omega Gaming dropped $5 saying, due to the events of tonight, I will Photoshop Decker and Creepy's faces on the Twilight poster. Now, fight over who will be who for my amusement.
Oh, that's easy. I'm Edward and he's Bella Swan.
God damn, I make a much better Edward.
How?
Obviously, he sparkles. He sparkles. That's why.
Dr. Zippy McScoots dropped $5 saying Beetlejuice versus Pinhead be better than most of the Hellraiser movies anyway. And I have to agree.
Yeah. We've received another $20 who says, I'm not Satan, just as a eccentric
he doesn't
YouTuber.
have a name anymore. He's just another $20.
Okay.
Alec Eccentric.
Alec Eccentric says, I'm not Satan, just an eccentric YouTuber like you guys. Love your content and wouldn't be the sane without you.
Wouldn't be sane without it.
Without it. Wouldn't be sane without it, right?
And I find that confusing as well, because I'm pretty sure enough of my show can drive someone to insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should apologize for what I do. Apologize, doesn't.
Dark Necrosis says Decker would be Bella hands down. I mean, he does have pretty hair, so I guess that could work.
Where the hell is the... Did it not post? Please tell me it posted.
What posted?
Oh, okay. Twitter's acting weird for me. The Live and Wired poll was like, it was telling me, you got 10 minutes left and there's 0 votes. I'm like, huh? So I refresh my page and it just disappears. I'm like, no. Now it's back and it's 41 votes. That's 9 minutes left. Holy hell, is that a spread?
Yeah, Omega Gaming for $2 says Haunted Bong as a melee DLC weapon.
Oh god, the evil bong.
Yes, the evil bong.
I actually said once to Decker years and years ago that if he were ever a character in a fighting game, one of his special attacks would be unleash the evil bong.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, so right before more insanity comes in, so Venom, once again, so a lot of people have their mixed feelings about the movie. Some people say that it was just all over the place. Some people say it didn't feel like Venom. But apparently, according to Todd McFarlane, the reason why people hated the movie was because we were too old to appreciate it.
What?
You know, it's always a good sign when a company or an executive or just a high-ranking official who puts out something that the general public is like, no. They just say, well, the problem's with you.
Yeah.
That always
True.
ends well. You know, I got to give it to Bethesda. As much of a shit show as the Fallout 76 launch has been, I don't recall Todd Howard coming out and saying, well, fuck you, you just don't appreciate it because you're uncultured swine. I say that, but, you know, oh well.
All right, so let's see what they have to say about this. With the year heading into its final 2 weeks, it's safe to call Venom one of the most divisive movies of 2018. The Sony tentpole starring Tom Hardy is one of Spider-Man's most iconic villains, is one of the worst reviewed movies of the year. It has a 29% on Rotten Tomatoes, and yet that hasn't stopped it from being a massive popular hit. It's the 5th highest grossing film of 2018 at the global box office with a haul of $852 million. And the character's co-creator Todd McFarlane has an idea on about the divide between critics and audiences. It was a big roller coaster ride. Visually, everything was coming to you. I think at times the critics get it wrong in that they forget their age. They come in and they're 42 years old, and then they come in with their attitude, and they're going, stop it. What if you were 16 and you were watching this movie? You would love it.
Don't tell me what you think I was like as a kid, okay? You don't know me. I'm 16 watching this movie. I'm like, I'm hungry, okay?
Decker needs a sandwich.
Oh, boy. So, Richard the Imaginator asked, I don't mean to ask you a request, can you review the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies? And that is an idea. I haven't really done many comic book movies at all.
That's an interesting idea. Don't you think, Decker?
But like one of my favorite movies, Demolition Man, one of the reasons I like it so much is because all the action scenes, like when I sit down and rewatch it, I'm like, dear God, this is shot so well. You could take out any frame and it would work in a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Alec Eccentric dropped $10 more saying, I actually enjoyed Venom. I know why everyone else didn't like it, but it's my newest guilty pleasure. And before you ask, I do not know when I'm going to stop donating money.
Right. I mean, we do appreciate the donations.
But it's just as long as it doesn't get to like the one. I remember the one night on Live and Wired where I can't remember who it was, but they just kept donating and donating and donating and saying how they can't afford to donate anymore, and they kept donating, and I had to stop and like, please stop, pay your bills.
Also, Toby Kirby. Oh, Kirkby. My apologies. Toby Kirkby says the summer and autumn and a little bit of spring of the MCU.
And the thing is, it's not even over yet. So yeah, he's gonna probably go on until probably around that time. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, everyone, happy winter. Did you know winter just started like yesterday?
Yeah, happy winter solstice, everybody.
Right.
I've just been paying attention to the actual like equinox and solstice and all of that, because that's how I was basing the summer specials on, actual official seasonal changes, and I found out that a lot of people don't follow that. It's just kind of colloquial.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
so now I get a lot of fun out of reminding people when the seasons start, because a lot of them actually don't know.
The irony is that winter solstice was originally all about winter was supposed to be halfway over at the winter solstice. It was like a check mark to say that winter's halfway over at that point.
Which does make sense because it's the shortest day of the year. So if the winter is centered around the shortest day of the year, it'll be the coldest time. Yeah, boom. But it's the official beginning of winter, so it's gotten, the days have been shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter all throughout autumn, and then now it's boom. Now they're going to get longer, and that's winter. You'd think that might be heading into spring, and it will eventually, kind of, sort of, but not quite yet. Omega Gaming dropped $5 saying, how much will it take you to review Twilight with glitter all over your faces?
I don't own any glitter, so I don't know.
Oh, man.
I mean, after all, we need to have you covered in glitter. You're our Edward creepy.
Well, I'm wondering because it's like, okay, I got Sucky over here. I got Sucky down there, the little robot vacuum. They do a good job, but I'm pretty sure glitter will fuck them up. Like, enough glitter, that'll just get absolutely everywhere.
Tell them the story you told me. Tell them about the flashing light of doom and how you thought that your robot.
I posted that on Twitter, where it's just the little RoboVac was just going around doing its thing as it does, and evidently one of my hair ties ended up on the floor. Happens, and it bound up in one of its little spinny parts. So its little spinny part couldn't spin anymore. So what it does when that happens is it keeps trying for a little while, making a weird noise as it does, until it figures out, okay, that can't spin. Something's wrong. I'm going to go into error mode. So the thing goes through, and then it starts making weird noises, and then it just stops. And the little blue light on top changes to red, and it's like, beep, beep, beep. And fiance, she looked at it, she's like, it's turned evil. Alex Eccentric dropped $10 saying, how much cash will it take you for you to not review Twilight without glitter?
So you don't want a Twilight movie review and you don't want the glitter.
I guess it's like no Twilight movie review and don't cover yourself in glitter.
Yeah.
I don't see the downside here.
You're not supposed to tell him that until he gives us more money, Decker.
God damn. Oh boy, I need it for my atoms. I need the atom shop. It's expensive. I want some paint on my power armor. Oh, okay. Toby Kirkby says, creepy, quote, I do not own glitter. Lie. I'll take things that are not true for 500, please, Alex.
Actually, no, I really do not own any glitter. Like, it's to the best of my knowledge, we have no glitter in the house.
John Ratsey saying about the RoboVac, it's saying terminate Decker.
Exterminate and destroy.
The robot's uprising will happen in my living room when my RoboVac is sick and tired of just day in and day out working for me for no pay. It just gets to have a little electricity after its job is done, and then it's right back to it the next day cleaning up my shit. Well then, sir, let's see how you like me sucking up your checkbook.
Now I'm imagining a short film where this happens, where Decker's Roomba goes on a rampage and is chasing him around the house, and Decker is just like, no!
You know, actually, I do have a remote control for the thing, and I can directly guide it, so we could film something like that. That would be fun. Okay, Alec Eccentric dropped $5 more saying, as requested, creepy.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, jeez.
I think that we're finished with the Twitter poll now.
Nice.
Oh, yes. Okay, poll ending, it says to me. Let me refresh this. And just, okay, this site can't be reached. You can eat my ass. Oh, I love it when websites crash. No, I don't.
It's my favorite.
It's just saying no internet connection. Oh, well, I'll try starting my Wi-Fi. How about I just disconnect from my Wi-Fi network and reconnect to it on my server? How about that? Will that work for you, son? Will you admit the internet exists then? Huh? Yes, no, yes. Oh, look at that. It's refreshing on its own. Oh, look, I have internet. Oh, gee.
All right, let me do it, Decker. It's okay.
Damn it. I just got it.
Okay, well, you do it then.
Okay, so the poll got 52 votes for what is, for reals, the real, true, and actual worst movie of all time. At 69%, clear winner here, The Last Airbender.
I was thinking it would be that one.
Coming in at a very distant second, 15% goes to The Happening.
What? No.
And at 10%, James Cameron's Avatar.
I see you.
And at a measly 6%, the live-action Full Metal Alchemist. Only 3 people or so voted for that.
Oh, well.
And we got a few comments. Kat Luniska says, James Cameron's Avatar. It's a basic fill-in-the-blank plot and has had no cultural impact whatsoever. Want to know how I know? On a very popular fanfic site, only 173 fanfics, and 20 of them are misplaced Airbender fics. You know it is a bad movie. It's that number. Joshua Strittmatter says, The Predator. Jeffrey Kerr says, Land of the Lost. Brushfire Glow says, I just can't stop laughing at the Airbender scene where a bunch of guys run across the screen screaming in fear, shortly followed by Aang twiddling in circles with a small wind around him. And Fury God says, if anyone doesn't choose The Last Airbender, they need to be slapped. And don't worry, The Last Airbender got the vast majority of
Yes.
votes.
The one movie that, according to one critic, said made Dragon Ball Evolution look like a masterpiece.
And so very little slapping needs to go on today.
Also, hold on. Alan Eccentric dropped $50 and... Oh, wait, no, I've already done this one. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought he dropped 50 more. I was like, what the? Oh, okay. That's
yeah, okay. It was still, and for some reason, it was still in the top, right below the Top Chat thing.
Yeah,
on
well,
YouTube.
yeah, they hang up there for a while. The larger the denomination, the more it stays, just in case everything scrolls by so fast.
Right. I was just like, I saw it, and my reaction was, oh crap, someone dropped $50, and nobody's read anything. Like, it just flew right by.
Well,
so
Alex Eccentric did drop $2 more to say the all important F the Last Airbender by M. Night.
What he said.
Yes.
What he said.
David Boucher said Brokeback Mountain in Pretty Gay. Okay.
All right. Miss Scoot says Brokeback Mountain Cornhole Canyon Special Edition on Blu-ray. I always like Brokeback Mountain 2, Bend Over Backwards.
My favorite is Brokeback Mountain 69. It's an overrated number. Epic Jason X9000 says Live and Wired episode 28. Decker is a Jill sandwich.
Oh, god damn it.
Anyway, so sorry, Eli, that your Full Metal Alchemist movie didn't get more votes.
I think that it's the same reason as Twilight getting voted the worst movie of all time, in that Full Metal Alchemist, the live action one, not too many people have seen it, not too many people know it, whereas Twilight was on the Good Morning America.
All right.
Everyone knows about Twilight.
True. Okay, well, I guess we can continue with our discussion. So let's see what we got.
Leading Blind says, no. Decker is a Predator sandwich.
Ah.
We had that episode, Predator sandwiches.
What would be in a Predator sandwich?
Oh.
What kind of meat would be in a Predator sandwich?
I'm just imagining like 4 king crab legs to make mandibles.
Sure.
Coming soon to McDonald's, the McMandible sandwich. In honor of the new Predator movie.
All right.
Summer of Batman with Creepy.
Ooh, that would be fun. Creepy is doing the Batman animated series, so yeah, that'd be fun.
Got your little Batman mask, I believe?
Yep. Actually, it's not even a Batman mask. It's a Mardi Gras mask. I found it while I was down in New Orleans years ago.
Well, you're the one who does that weird-ass pottying. I just sit at home and play Switch. And then pretend that I'm an anime lady with big boobs. I do weird stuff on the gaming channel.
And I'm supposed to be the creepy one.
Yes.
Let's see. Omega Gaming gave us $5 saying, not sure if you guys saw Downsizing, but it's a disappointment. Was advertised as a comedy, got a forced love story, also hashtag McMandible. Yes, we need a sandwich where it has 4 king crab legs, and it's going to be our predator sandwich. It's going to have coleslaw. It's going to have a mayonnaise dressing and just giant crab legs on top of a brioche bun.
Lazarus Soul 82 says, "WTF, Decker?" Oh boy. Yeah, the gaming channel. It's a fun place where fun stuff happens, and it all started with a little game called Sakura Christmas, which part 1 is now no longer there because YouTube removed it saying it was pornography.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's actually one of the tamest damn ones I've ever done. If not the tamest. Well, I guess it's not the tamest, because there are other ones that I did that weren't Sakura games that don't involve anime girls constantly trying to have sex with each other. Like, I think last year I did a Let's Play of The Thing with Mistletoes, which is this weird little romantic horror visual novel. Like, there's a little dating aspect to it, but the story is about your little brother got kidnapped by a crazy psychopath and you gotta find him. But you also really like this hunky guy that is helping look for your little brother. Think of it like Twilight, but slightly less dumb.
Sure.
That's not really a challenge.
Just slightly less dumb.
Also, where was it? I saw it a second ago. Dark Necrosis, dark. No. Damn it! I had something. Yeah, here we go. Dark Necrosis said, "Now I have this vision of creepy flashing people for beads at Mardi Gras. Actually, you don't have to do that at Mardi Gras. They give those away for free. No flashing is required."
Okay, Omega Gaming says, "Also, I need some good face poses for the deck light Photoshop. Also, gonna have a hard time explaining why I spent $30 plus on YouTube to the girlfriend." Yeah, that is a little. She like necklaces?
I don't know how that's going to matter now, considering he spent $30 on YouTube. He may not have the money for an apology necklace.
Well,
all right then. Well, let's continue, shall we? So, to keep off the mind that you just did that, let's talk about some other amazing, beautiful train wrecks, shall we? So, next to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, we've also been discussing about the Dora the Explorer movie. Everybody remember
Brandon
that?
G. Candy. That's a very good suggestion.
Candy.
Like,
yes.
get her candy.
Yes, candy.
Yeah, okay. But yes, the Dora the Explorer movie.
Yes. So we got a new casting for who's going to be our next character. So Benicio del Toro will be joining the movie as Swiper the Fox.
God damn it, now I have to watch this movie. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah. Okay, so we have another $5 comment. Chris, now Christine Chan, has informed us that Ted Bundy is in fact in the Sonichu dimension if they ever want to make a sequel for Sonic.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Yeah, I had heard about that. I had heard that Chris Chan had transitioned to Christine. So, yeah.
It's just difficult because they already made an internet name for themselves as Chris Chan, so you just think of that as sort of more of a character name.
Well,
rather than
even more ironic is that Chris Chan was rather infamous for being too homophobic even for the early 2000s.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so Benicio del Toro as Swiper the Fox.
Apologies, Patricia. You've been trying to get this do this article.
Okay, shall I?
mean, trust me, it's either we can talk about this or Sonichu. What do you prefer?
I'll read this out. It's hard to believe next year we'll finally see the release of a live-action Dora the Explorer film. Since the show debuted in 2000, it's always been discussed as an eventual film. Who knew it would take 19 years? Peruvian American actress Isabella Mono was announced as the lead earlier this year, and audiences' reactions to her in the Dora costume have been unique, to say the least. Now, audiences will continue to be enthralled by the entertaining weirdness that is a live-action Dora the Explorer, with the announcement that Oscar-winning actor Benicio del Toro has joined the film. He'll be providing the voice of the villainous fox Swiper, known for his continued attempts to nab Dora's items. His schemes are foiled by Dora's refrain of "Swiper, no swiping." Del Toro will only be providing the voice of the character, as filming wrapped up earlier this year in Australia. The feature is described as a Goonies-type adventure wherein a now high school-age Dora, with the help of her pet monkey Boots, must find her parents, played by Michael Pena and Eva Longoria, as well as a lost Incan civilization. The James Bond-directed film also includes stars Eugenio Derbez and Adriana Braza, as well as... Fuck! How do you... Q apostrophe O... as well as these guys in unspecified roles. God damn it. Del Toro has been popping up in a slew of popular franchises, including the Star Wars and Marvel franchises, so lending his voice to this kid-friendly and sure-to-be-financially successful Dora the Explorer makes sense. It's definitely odd that he'd be nabbed for a character who doesn't necessarily have the most lines, but it's assumed Swiper's role will be fleshed out more than it is in standard episodes. The rest of the cast is just as impressive. Who'd have thunk in 2019 we'd have a Dora the Explorer movie with Oscar winners in it?
So yes, we are going to. Benicio del Toro is going to be our Swiper the Fox.
Andrew Clan dropped $10 asking, "Is Dwayne the Rock Johnson going to be playing Boots?"
No, I don't think so. I think somebody. I don't think. From what I understand, I think that they're using an actual monkey. From what I remember, I think from when we read the last article that they were going to be using like a CG monkey, but it was going to be played by somebody else. But I don't think so.
Eli Hawes asks, have they talked about the new Hellboy trailer? And
no, we have not yet.
No. I saw a little of that.
Yeah. I don't really know too much about it either, but I actually it's a funny thing because I think I did I think I even mentioned this when we were talking about the Dora the Explorer movie when they were showing off pictures that I actually do know the guy who voices Swiper the Fox. And I'm actually curious about what he would think about this. I'm actually going to email him tonight about this article and see what his thoughts are. And who knows, maybe I'll even talk about it in the next Live and Wired. We'll see.
Awesome. Also, Omega Gaming dropped $2. Can't wait to see that live-action football head.
Well, I didn't know that we were going to have a live-action Hey Arnold movie.
I don't know if I should be excited or terrified.
Both.
Do they use CGI to make the head seem more football?
No, have an actual kid and just like Photoshop his head into the shape of a football for every scene he's in. Just stretch that shit out.
We already have the Jungle movie, so I think we don't need a live action movie. I want
to stretch a kid's head out.
It's funny that we did get the Hey Arnold Jungle movie because that was one of the things that I remember Patricia talking about when we did that big when we did the big crossover together, like that there would finally be a Pataki series and a Hey Arnold Jungle movie. And then a few years later, the Jungle movie came out.
Yes, exactly. I even did an entire video on the history of that, so you can go check that out. I will actually be doing a follow-up on that. I'm actually working on it.
Cat Winsco says, things that will be used against Decker in court.
Oh, this will be fun. Exhibit A, Dora the Explorer. Exhibit B, violating a kid by stretching his head too thin.
God damn it. Okay, moving on from me being like put to jail for stretching children's faces and faces.
Okay, we have
next article.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, Matanui says it doesn't matter, Patricia. They will make one. They will make one.
Omega Gaming dropped $2 and says the big three-way creepy 2018.
You know, it's funny because I wouldn't be if they did Matanui, if they did do a Hey Arnold live action movie, I would not be surprised because they are doing a live action Rugrats movie with CG babies. So that should be interesting. If it does become a success, then we'll just
horrifying.
Saiyan Sleek
Because
Media
I've
says,
lost
what about
control of my life.
right? Saying Sleek Media says, "What about Doug Funny? Doug belongs to Disney now, so that's up to Disney. And I wouldn't, you know what? Probably Doug Funny, if done right, will probably be the closest to ever be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe."
Plus, no one would ever be able to get that song out of their head.
John Ratsey says,
Well,
"My
they wouldn't use
God,
that version. They would
Rugrats,
use,
my life has suddenly ended."
oh, you have yet to see what's going to happen, John. Not only will there be the live action
And
movie, but 20 new episodes.
Epic Jason X9000 makes a good point. Wouldn't that just be a remake of Baby Geniuses?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Coleslaw Slaw says, "God, what's next? A live-action Care Bears movie? And I want not a CGI one. I want one made with real bears.
Oh my God, no!
Just as long as I can watch the making of documentary afterwards."
That would be more interesting than the actual film.
Yes.
That would be more interesting than the actual film.
Darth Necrosis says, "What's next? A Rocko's Modern Life live action movie? No, but there is going to be Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling coming out, so there's that. And Invader Zim, Enter the Florpus. And I'm sure there's plenty more, but I don't want to say too much about it right now. No.
Oh god, now they're asking for all kinds of live actions. Live action DuckTales, live action Shark Tales, live action Shrek.
Oh no! No.
Live action Street Sharks. Using
Nobody-
real sharks.
Oh my god, no.
Oh man. I'm trying to think of something like a really obscure cartoon from the 80s and 90s that could be made into actually there is one. There's one that I've wanted to see a live action version of for years. It was from the 90s. I even did a review on it way back in the day called Skeleton Warriors. It's basically a bunch of people with superpowers fight skeletons who ride on flying motorcycles.
That sounds like the most badass thing ever.
Yeah, I love the expression on Decker's face the minute I said that. It was like his eyebrows did all the talking for him. Oh my god, live action Get Along Gang. I don't think that should have been an animated live action one. Although I would not say no to a live action Mighty Max. That sounds awesome.
Biker Mice from Mars. Inhumanoids.
Never thought that I'd be acting in humanoid. That ain't the Japanese thing to do.
God damn it. I'm going humanoid over you.
We're dance in my living room.
$2 from Omega Gaming. Live action cat dog. Merge a cat dog for the kids. Oh god, no.
I think the closest I saw to that was the Mitchell episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000, where Dr. Forrester is going through his old stuff from his university days, and he pulls out the one, and he's like, "Oh, look, it's the double butt graft. I grafted the butt of a dog onto the butt of a cat." I'm sure they all laughed.
And that's when it hits them. They probably had a good point there. So yeah, this has been a night of nostalgia for all of us, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
It's live and wide. It's all about the nostalgia.
But then again, as we talked about before this show actually started, we will next episode of Live and Wire. We will have been doing this for a year.
Yeah, that's insane.
Can't believe it. Hey guys, I'm really depressed, and my YouTube channel is taking it up the butt, and I've decided to use this frustration to create something. You want to join me? And then ends up Patricia does all the work anyway. But.
If I have to, that's okay. Don't worry about it.
I gotta pull my weight around this show.
Patricia is way too good to us.
Yeah.
Ooh, Epic Jason says live action Cadillacs and dinosaurs.
David Boucher says live action Pirates of the Dark Water. Yes, please.
Yes, thank you. That show had so much potential and it was so wasted and it ended like before anything could really be resolved.
Yeah, exactly. I know that everybody is sick and tired of remakes, and I understand that. But personally, for me, I feel that if a show, hasn't held up very well or hasn't been finished, I feel like it deserves a second chance. And I've always stated multiple times that if I wanted to see a show come back remade, I want to see Pirates of the Dark Water come back.
Live
I don't know.
Captain
I know people
Planet. So Captain Planet, like the skits they do online where it's the guy they paint blue who cares about the planet, or Captain Planet like the skits they do online where it's the guy smoking weed.
Oh, don't forget, Decker, there's that Captain Planet movie that's coming out. We did discuss about that in an episode of Live and Wire.
Oh, the dark and gritty Captain Planet?
That's the one, yes, the dark and gritty Captain Planet.
Yeah. Oh, God, now I remember. I was happily that was gone, but now it's back.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding us.
Hearts and gives everybody heart attacks. That's the new grim and gritty Captain Planet. Also, $5.
This would be a good one. A live action Cyber 6 from Corey 2000.
Ooh.
That would be awesome. I know that they try to attempt to do that in South America, I think, but I don't think it lasted very long.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense because that's where it originally came from.
Yeah, I remember that. Cyber 6 was a...
I actually saw it recently because I'm planning on doing a video on it. Cyber 6 is a animated series from the 90s that was based off of a South American comic book created by two men named Carlos. I forget what their last names were, but it's essentially a female superhero named Cyber 6 who is trying to protect a ghetto South American city from a whole bunch of crime, and the main bad guy is a Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a cloned son named Jose who basically just, is like this spoiled little brat and who basically does a whole bunch of crazy stuff from summoning monsters and whatnot. I will plan on I'm planning on doing a video on that really soon because I want to release a new series of videos, and I actually do have a lot to say about Cyber 6.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that Cyber 6, if it was live action, I could definitely see it. Definitely.
I would kind of have this thing where, since it takes place in South America, I would, if they can find a
Anonymous Bastard says live action Hellsing. I could see that. I could see a live action Hellsing.
I don't mean to spoil everyone's fun, but we are into the second. Well, we're getting into the third hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Stop having fun.
Everyone, I'm glad you've enjoyed yourself, but it's time to stop all that. Get back to work.
Sorry, everybody. Let's continue with the work. Okay, so next article. So 2018 has released a lot of games, including one released by Cory Barlog from Sony called God of War, or as everybody calls it, Dad of War, or Dad of Boy, or Boy of Dad, or whatever. And he was asked recently about what his personal favorite God of War game was. And according to an article, we have the answer right here. So even though he recently had worked on the 2018 God of War, he claims that the first one is still his all-time favorite.
Well, then it's the two ones that I played. Yay.
Yeah. So according to the list, number one for him is the original God of War from 2005. Then number two is God of War from 2018. Number three is God of War 2. Number four is God of War 3. And then the rest of them are, some of them are PSP games, and I think another one was for the PS3. So there's Ascension, Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, and Betrayal.
Betrayal!
Betrayal!
Okay, I can't hear that word without thinking of that event.
Betrayal!
Let's see. Omega Gaming gave us another $2 saying, Dad of Boy, I think I saw a porno of that. Wouldn't be surprised. Runs with Mooses, Runs with Mooses for $2.99 saying, "Who wants to see as Captain Plant in his pants?" What does that mean? I don't even want to know what that means.
I am confused and scared of the chat right now.
Me too. Can we just go back to talking about what we like to see live action?
Expectation X9000 says Kid Icarus versus God of War, and I'm just imagining Kratos just absolutely annihilating that poor little bastard.
I don't know if you've seen the some of the later Super Smash Brothers games. Kid Icarus is actually kind of a badass.
I mean, yeah, but that's Dark Pit. We're talking about regular pits. Lighthearted pits. Not Dark Emo Pit.
Paladina, what do we do about the... Oh, God! Yes!
Anonymous Bastard says, God of War 5, that's not my kid.
Corey 2000 says, Kratos versus Xena. My money is on Xena.
She actually did the whole killing gods thing first, believe it or not.
Yeah. It was the Twilight of the Gods saga, which in and of itself was not a bad idea. I think it was just poorly written. And it was also an idea that came along when the show was starting to wind down. So some people were already kind of moving on and getting sick of it. So your mileage will no doubt vary on whether you think that the storyline itself ruined the show or if it was just that the show was already running out of ideas.
Yeah, it was a really good idea, which I guess God of War kind of like saw to it that, hey, if we're going to make a game based off of Greek gods, let's have one of them kill them. So, okay, that's fair enough. So
all the gods.
Yes, every single one of them. So, yeah, personally for you guys, what is your favorite God of War game?
I have not played any except the first and the most recent.
Okay,
I think I might have played a little bit of the second, but that was just a small amount. I played through and beat the first one several times, and I have been playing through the most recent. They're very different games, so I don't know. It's like the new one gets a lot of flack because it is pretty similar to a lot of newer games in the whole walking simulator. I'm going from this point to that point, and in the meantime, I've got my little sidekick character who's going to exposit the entire fucking story while I'm trying to figure out where I'm going. But the combat, I feel, is one of the better things in more modern games. And the combat in the original God of War was very visceral, very violent, but also very damn easy. So I prefer the newer God of War simply because I crank up the difficulty and I really enjoy the challenge, even though some of the bosses do piss me off quite right with how cheap the fucking fuckers are. But, yeah.
Jacob Kennedy says, God of War 5, someone call child support.
Epic Jason X9000 says, God of War 6. What was I angry about again? My favorite, it's very difficult because I like all of them for different reasons. I've said this in the Sony PlayStation 2 Memories podcast that I like God of War for the story, and I like God of War 2 for its gameplay because it's a lot more tighter. God of War 3 is a combination of all those things, but with the ending, I always was kind of dissatisfied with it. But then obviously the new game came out and it was able to answer a lot of things. So yeah, it's very difficult to choose like a favorite, but I guess the more recent one, it does have a tighter story and the gameplay is a lot of fun as well.
God of War 7, I'm too old for this shit.
It's true. It's actually true, considering and how old Kratos becomes in the new game.
God of War 8, are we done yet?
Oh boy.
God of War 9, so very tired.
God of War 10, we're still doing this.
God of War 11, would you please knock it off?
Speaking of that, there's Mortal Kombat 11, Epic Jason X9000 saying, did you hear recently about Ed Boon teasing the Doomslayer in Mortal Kombat 11?
Yes, we did briefly I briefly saw in a Twitter post that yes, Spawn is going to be in Mortal Kombat 11,
yeah,
but we
Spawn
didn't talk.
And it's talking about the Doomslayer here.
Oh, and the Doomslayer, Doom guy. Yeah, I don't think so. No, I do know that Spawn and Negan are going to be in it, but I didn't know that Doomslayer was going to be in it. So, no, it's very good.
Mortal Kombat is starting to look more and more like Smash Brothers, except with blood and guts and pain and misery.
Isn't that basically basically
As soon as someone picks up a super scope and just blows someone's chest cavity out with it, then we know they've gotten too close.
Padawan Graham says God of War 13. Kill me. You win.
I want to.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Negan is in Tekken. That's right. Not in Mortal Kombat.
Right.
But.
Oh, sorry.
But you're right. You're right. I mean, like, there's a lot of characters in various video games that are coming in. But then again, it's not too surprising. They've always done this. Like, you remember Soul Calibur 3, in which they added in Spawn and Link from Legend of Zelda, and I forget the other character into their respected games.
Guy from Tekken, old guy. I didn't play Tekken much. I'm sorry.
Okay. Omega Gaming gives us $2 saying God of War 297. Just let me die already, damn it.
Oh boy. It's like every time Death shows up, he just can't help it, and he just kills Death. It's like, not again.
All right. Well, I don't think there's really much to say on the matter, so let's continue on, because
I'd like to pick one, if you don't mind. One from the list, specific one.
Yeah. What would you like to read?
Let's Are You Afraid of the Dark movie?
Yes, that's right. I still have that one, so let me see if I can find it. Yes, I found it.
Yeah. And I'll read this one if it's all right.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I've read one. I don't think I've read a little while is the thing.
Yeah. I think we need a break from the God of War sequels.
Yeah. And of course, the article has a picture of the clown.
Sorry.
No,
at least it's not Chucky.
Yeah, that's true. No, but thank you, because I've been really excited about this one. From 1990 to 2000, Are You Afraid of the Dark haunted Canadian kids on YTV and American audiences on Saturday night's programming lineup Snick. These were the best of times. For many, the members of the Midnight Society and their spooky campfire stories were the first foray into horror, a foot in the door that opened into the madness of H.P. Lovecraft, the saints and sinners of Stephen King, and the pantheon of horror gurus of the big and small screen. Next year, the horror anthology series will get a chance to jump into the feature film market, with Nickelodeon and Paramount Films production by the same name. Now, as Bloody Disgusting reports, Are You Afraid of the Dark is one step closer to starting production now that DJ Caruso is in talks to direct. There's no meat on the bones of this story just yet, since no official announcement has been made, and presumably the casting process hasn't started. Probably not. Generally speaking, they don't start the casting process until they're a little further along. However, as we've previously reported, its screenwriter Gary Doberman is penning the script for this adaptation, something that should have horror fans very excited. Doberman's previous efforts also include the Annabelle franchise films and The Nun. Whoopi Goldberg fans beware. So he's not exactly a one-shot wonder. Caruso, on the other hand, Caruso's an interesting choice for a director of this particular film. If you go back to his 2007 feature, Disturbia, he's actually a good fit. But if you also note every film he's directed since then, Eagle Eye, I Am Number 4, Standing Up, The Disappointments Room, and XXX, The Return of Xander Cage, things get muddy quickly. His shot at horror in The Disappointments Room was savaged by critics and general audiences alike. His brush with the young adult boom in I Am Number 4 was forgettable on all fronts, and his entry into the high-octane XXX franchise anchored by Vin Diesel earned a lukewarm reception at best. But Caruso's 2013 effort Standing Up offers an interesting peek into what his take on Are You Afraid of the Dark might look like. Granted, it's up to Doberman's story for the most part, but Caruso's adaptation of the Brock Cole novel that told the story of two kids who fought back against bullying at a summer camp and found mutual support in each other serves as something to build from. I have thoughts on that, but I need to finish the article first.
Huh.
That picture too was met with ambivalence from critics and audience goers. So we'll see if something special can come together for this new project. Whew. Is that all of the article? That's all of the article.
Okay, real quick, Omega Gaming dropped $5 and saying, "Can you touch a little on the game Atlas that seems dead upon launch?" And I tried to look this up real quick, and it seems Atlas was supposed to come out in early access today, and people were indeed trying to stream it for like upwards of over 4 hours
Right.
and not succeeding. And it's free to play, I believe. I'm pretty sure. So it's a thing. You download, you play, microtransactions keep running. It's just it wasn't playing, and eventually the team got a branch up specifically for streamers, and then they have said that the game that has been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. Well, it was supposed to launch today, and in fact, past the point it was supposed to launch, where it clearly wasn't freaking working. Now it's been delayed until after the holidays.
Oh, that's not good.
But they had a streamer-specific build up for a bit, at least. So, yeah. That's a lot of what the fuck. But Atlas is like a MMORPG with pirates and stuff. Sounds a lot of fun. I mean, one thing I liked, MMORPGs to do is to really create a world. And one thing I felt that they always kind of failed at was when it was time to move to another continent and get on the ship. Right. Sometimes it sort of worked, but usually it was buggy and you fell off the ship and you died in the middle of the ocean, or it was just a teleportation pad, which I found actually more annoying because it just didn't build the world. Where this, where it's like, you are boating, you're going. Remember that other game on Xbox that was supposed to be real fun that everyone's already forgotten about? It's like that, except more broken. Like, oh, shit.
Well, that's promising. All right, well, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the Are You Afraid of the Dark movie because we there's been talks of it for a while, and the fact that they're getting some people who have been known for doing various horror movies, then at least they're just not getting some Joe Schmo from some time that some part of town that nobody's ever heard of, and they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna do this movie based off of something you like, just accept it.
Or like some hack who even the Disney Channel original movie people won't hire anymore.
Omega Gaming saying that Atlas is actually the price of a AAA game, $40 to $60.
Ooh.
So that it not working at launch, and then saying actually it's going to be after the holidays.
Right? Yeah.
That's
yay. Corey 2000 says Shado is Decker an Are You Afraid of the Dark character? Yes.
But the article mentioned a movie that the director did about a couple of kids standing up against bullying while they're at summer camp and drawing mutual support from one another. That raises an interesting point because I don't remember if it's ever specifically addressed. But there was a very strong sense of camaraderie with the Midnight Club, with the Midnight Society. They were they lived in different neighborhoods. They went to different schools. It's implied that they're from different backgrounds, too.
Yeah, I believe they are.
I believe there was at least one female character whom it was very strongly implied, like she was from an upper class background. Her.
Yeah, that was from the later season of Are You Afraid of the Dark, where her family is rich and she was responsible for getting the couches for everybody to sit on because she didn't want to sit on logs and rocks.
Right.
Okay, so Atlas is made by the same guys behind Ark Survival Evolved, which could explain why shit doesn't work.
But
damn.
Yeah, well.
But yeah, there was a sense of none of these kids are they don't travel in the same social circles. They're not from the same financial background. They're not even from the same school or the same area. But every week, without fail, they get together in the woods and they tell ghost stories to one another. And there is this sense of, stop it, Decker.
Stop what?
There is this sense of, them drawing a kind of stop it.
You don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Creepy. Chibi Thulu, eat his face. Anyway, but there is the sense that the kids are drawing, a kind of, support from one another by doing this. This is how they, deal with life, basically. And
Man, it's so tough being 10.
actually, the kids were kind of in their early to mid-teens.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were.
fine.
Only Tucker was the only young one, and he was like around 9 or 10. But even then,
Get his ass out of there.
Well, he couldn't because he was technically the leader's younger brother.
Oh, god damn it. Fucking nepotism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he would become the leader in season 7.
I was going to say, I think it was the last season he became the leader of the group.
Yeah, season 7 through 10, he was the leader.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if the entire movie doesn't have to hinge on this. It doesn't have to be, bashed into the audience's head. But I feel like that is an angle to draw on,
Yeah,
I love bashing the audience's head.
And I am curious to see whether or not the movie is going to take like an anthology approach where it's, it is just going to be them telling different ghost stories, or if they are going to do something like the, what was the name of it? The Secret of the Silver.
Oh, you're talking about the Tale of the Silver Sight.
Right, The Tale of the Silver Sight. That's it. Yeah. And I always get that title mixed up for some reason, but thank you.
Okay.
But
that's because you're probably confusing it with the Tale of the Silver Specks, which is about the glasses one, right?
Right. There were a lot of silver in this.
Yeah, there was a lot of silver for some reason. Like one of the ghosts couldn't be killed unless you strike it with silver. Right. Yeah, there was a lot of silver. But continue.
But the whole idea, is like, are they going to take just an anthology approach, or is it going to be something like the finale where it's them trying to solve a mystery and, and so forth? And if you want to know the truth, I'm not sure I care. Whether it's an anthology, story, or whether it's, the latter, I'd still want to go see it. I would still be happy seeing an Are You Afraid of the Dark series, because I love this show. I really do. And, Decker has had to endure you and I geek out about it.
Yeah.
Those the TV shows. Yeah, this good on you. I played Fantasy Star.
We have a $30 comment from Nerdbane who says, "Hope you and your family have a Merry Xmas and a prosperous New Year." Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nerdbane.
Right before we get off the topic of Are You Afraid of the Dark, I just want to do a
I'm also still playing Fantasy Star.
Thank you. Well, I just want to do a quick plug for my friends who ran a podcast actually called You Scared of This, where they took a look at every single episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark. And if you're interested in knowing their thoughts on it, then check it out. They've interviewed the creator DJ McHale. They interviewed Jose Prendes, who wrote a book about Are You Afraid of the Dark. And I think they're going to be, doing possibly a podcast on the movie when it comes out. So, yeah, shout outs to them.
Scott Duncan is asking, "Hey guys, y'all going to talk about the new Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer and news?"
Yes, we are, because I actually found an article on it.
And that's something that Decker would much rather talk about.
Yeah, let's go over to Decker time.
Yay.
Okay, so here we go. Let's just go to okay, got it. Found it. Okay. New trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters. Here's the trailer. Can't play it, sorry. So here you go, Decker. You can read this one.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters, is gearing up to be a voracious showdown between some of cinema's most infamous monsters, and a new trailer for the film demonstrates just how those fights will shape up, by doing what most trailers do, and just turning off and then back on, and off and back on, except it's very obvious and annoying this time. The new trailers focus on the impending battle between good kaiju and bad ones, King Ghidorah, the three-headed beast, giant insect Mothra, and Rodan, another peculiar-looking flying monster, are all prepared to launch attacks on each other. Look, Gareth Edwards' 2014 Godzilla wasn't exactly a cinematic masterpiece, but if Godzilla King of the Monsters is just 2 hours of big monsters fighting each other, which is what this trailer promises, then I'll be happy. Are you kidding? Did we watch the same trailer? There are plenty of human characters. You think they don't have stories? And have you not watched the other Godzilla movies? I mean, if the only one you've watched is Godzilla Final Wars, fair enough. I love that one. But seriously, don't pretend like, all the Godzilla movies other than the American ones are just people talking. Or not people talking. You know what I mean. Godzilla King of the Monsters is a direct follow-up to 2014's Godzilla. About 5 years have passed in the film, and human civilization is still trying to figure out how to coexist with fantastical creatures. The film also stars Millie Bobby Brown, best known for her role as Eleven in Netflix's Stranger Things, and a challenge on saying their name 3 times fast. Brown spoke at San Diego Comic-Con earlier this year about going up against all sorts of monsters in her short acting career. It was very different from Demogorgon, Brown said, as reported by Entertainment Weekly. I didn't get to call it ew. Eleven has powers. It's a lot less terrifying because she can just hopefully kill them. But this was on a much larger scale. I had neck problems because we were always looking up so high. So it was a larger scale, quite literally. The Demogorgon was just a tiny bit taller than me, and Godzilla and all other monsters are a lot larger. That's it. That's their professional opinion on this. They hurt my neck, which is fair enough. The trailer looked pretty fucking awesome. Mothra looked awesome. King Ghidorah looked awesome. I didn't see all that much of Rodan other than a shadow and some like really far away shots. But Godzilla looked awesome, as we already know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it had the trappings of every movie trailer that you've ever seen.
Real quick, Omega Gaming dropped $2 and said thoughts on the Escape Room movie.
Oh, I haven't seen anything of that. I just know with a name like that, it's preloaded for critics to give it a bad review and have all kinds of things to play on the name and just be like, you're going to try to get out of the theater as quickly as you can. Decker should read us the Bible next time. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Jesus' birthday. Okay, we're done. I read the Bible. I would lose so many subscribers just from sacrilege alone. Not even just the faithful. I mean, just like everyone would be so disgusted. They're like, okay, I don't even believe in this, but you are really disrespectful here. I'm out.
Or like, Decker gets to Ezekiel, and there she lusted after her lovers. Who's
No boy.
I can't read that out loud.
Oh, I can. Do you seen the shit on the Gamer channel?
That's true. Fair point. Okay, I can't read that out loud on this channel. I'll have to go over to the gaming channel.
Okay.
All right. Well, I do have some pretty cool news. So right before we get into the other stuff. So I actually did find this about yesterday. I actually stumbled upon this pretty interesting article about a comic book. So remember we were discussing about Ash versus the Evil Dead, about how, Bruce Campbell said that this was going to be the last thing he was ever going to do regarding about, portraying as Ash. Well, I guess, for the comic books, it'll be the closest thing that we have for something new, because we have a comic book series coming out that'll have a crossover with Ash Williams with Bubba Hotep. I mean, Elvis Presley, the king, but essentially it's a Army of Darkness Bubba Hotep crossover comic book.
Okay.
Yeah. So, whose turn is it to read? So I guess it's mine. Double the Bruce, double the fun. Issue number 1 hasn't even come out yet. It's heading out in February 2019, but issue number 2 of Dynamite and IDW's mashup series Army of Darkness / Bubba Hotep has been already teased by this week by Doom Rocket. The site has got their hands on a few covers for the second issue, which you can check out. Written by Scott Duvall and art by Vincenzo Federici. Issue number 2 will arrive on March 13th, 2019. In Army of Darkness / Bubba Hotep, Ash embarks on a soul-searching road trip to Texas on a hunch that Elvis Presley may still be alive and kicking, and supposedly vanquishing a mummy. What follows is a series of universe-spanning events that involves with an Elvis jumpsuit with special time travel abilities, a trip to 70s Vegas, plus the reveal of an evil new Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon Hotep. Last we saw Ash, he was soaring chin first through a time portal hot on the bandage of Bubba Hotep and crash landing into 1970s Las Vegas. The demonic mummy seeks an ancient Egyptian book of souls and will stop at nothing to possess it. Can Ash put aside his differences with a near-peak condition Elvis long enough to teach this undead thief a lesson? Find out in the Vegas-styled Winner Takes It All showdown, where the loser gets his soul sucked out.
Just like Vegas.
Yep, pretty much. Sucks out your soul, sucks out your money, sucks out your dignity. Yep, pretty much.
And he's still got his motherfucking chainsaw hand.
Let's see. Matanui asks, what the heck is Bubba Hotep? Well, Bubba Hotep is a movie that has Bruce Campbell as Elvis Presley, and there's various other characters where they claim to be figures that have all been long dead. And essentially, I think it was mummies or zombies that come by and disrupt the nursing home. And, you know, alongside with Elvis Presley, John F. Kennedy, who's a black guy, and various other old people, they fight off against this mummy. They fight off against mummies. That's basically it. So there you go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was reviewed by James Rolfe during one Cinemassacre Monster Madness. I don't know if he did a long form review of it later or not.
I don't think so.
But yeah, it's been a favorite of the internet for a while.
Mm-hmm. So for any of you guys who are huge Bruce Campbell fans or fans of Bubba Hotep or the Evil Dead series, then you can check out the comic book series that'll be coming out in 2019.
Whew. Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's see what else we got.
Omega Gaming dropped $5 saying, I'm gonna go shove a donut in my face. Decker, if you behave and are a good boy, you'll get one too. Which means I am not getting a donut.
Aw. Well, thank you for trying, Omega Gaming. Okay. So, I think we should start wrapping things up. So, you know what that means. YouTube news.
If only the hat didn't make it really hard to just take the thing off and throw it.
Oh, this is a pretty long article, but we can sum it up pretty well with just the title. The title is YouTube is a metaphor for the Great American Dumpster Fire. Isn't that just glorious?
Spoiler alert, Wired doesn't like YouTube.
Yeah. So YouTube's 13th year has proven just as confusing, mercurial, and pimply as any human teenagers. But unlike the usual adolescent, YouTube isn't actually a hormone-addled child. It's the most popular social media platform in the United States. Its problems reflect and contribute to our culture like a big scandalous Tide Pod and condom slurping Ouroboros. Really?
Bigger words we use, the more valid our arguments become.
So it's fitting that YouTube's most persistent bugaboos, well, there you go, this year has been America's out-of-control celebrities and our cultural addiction to them. Racism and conspiracy theories and policies that disproportionately impact vulnerable groups like the LGBTQ committee. Yeah, we remember that.
As you know, none of these problems existed until YouTube.
Right. But as much as 2018 was a year beset by scandal and frenzy backpedaling, it was also the year when YouTube started trying its earnest to reckon its own problems. That means taking itself a bit more seriously. YouTube isn't just 30-second videos of cats falling off tables anymore. It's big business. The platform's highest-grossing star, Ryan Toy's Review, made a whopping $22 million this year. And we did talk about that in the last episode of Live and Wired, if you want to check that out, where a 7-year-old is making more money than Decker, Creepy, and I put together.
He's making more money than PewDiePie.
Exactly, and PewDiePie is making more money as a hat salesman than a YouTuber. The platform's cultural footprint is large.
Hats, if he is, that's all I.
Yeah. The platform's cultural footprint is large and deep, and YouTube knows it. For 2018 and all of its pustules and body odor has been the year that YouTube realized it needed to grow up. The platform has been shifting away from being a social network for niche, sometimes morally reprehensible, low production value videos to a digital television studio for its influential age. But that shift hasn't been smooth. YouTube is deciding on what it wants to be while scrambling to contend with what already has an adolescent reckoning that's happening on a global stage.
I like how Wired doesn't mention that, there happen to be low-budget independent media that is not bigoted and homophobic and Nazism. There's people out there who aren't conspiracy theorists and also aren't part of a major network.
Mm-hmm.
This happens. There's people. It's human beings. It's amazing. It's this weird thing. I get this feeling they're saying, in order for YouTube to grow up, it has to not be YouTube anymore, which is like, well, what the hell do you think is the point of it all?
I have no idea.
I mean,
I think it's
like,
going...
What YouTube needs to do, clamp down on this, clamp down on that. It's like, no, I can tell you from a YouTuber's perspective, what I think YouTube needs to do, stop playing favorites. If Casey Neistat releases a video saying, hey, I'd like to put the proceeds of the monetization of this video towards a charity to help the victims of this tragedy, and YouTube removes the monetization saying, sorry, you're not allowed to monetize videos about tragedies, even though it was about a charity that was loosely connected. Well, okay, the charity was closely connected, but the video was loosely connected to the tragedy. But then you have, around the same fucking time, Jimmy Kimmel making an episode about the fucking tragedy, and he's got all the highest fucking ads on him. That's called double standards. That's what you don't like. And you can fucking say, oh, the rules are different for these companies than it is for everyone. Why? Why are the rules different? Why are you, if you have a network behind you, are you allowed to be a bigoted, homophobic, Nazi, racist bastard? Is that okay? Also okay, as long as you have enough money? Okay, I think I've got my rant out.
Okay.
I think pretty much what YouTube is saying.
Yeah, pretty much so. Perrin Shoebridge gave us $5. Telling YouTube to not play favorites is like telling Rick James not to smoke crack.
Good point.
True. Okay. So yeah, it goes
it's
more
kind of like, back when YouTube first got the partner program implemented, and one of the most popular YouTubers at the time was James Rolfe, of course, angry video game nerd in the the start of the big push of internet celebrities. And who got the partnership? The irate gamer, because he swore less. I mean, he was clearly just ripping off. I mean, it's kind of sounds obviously kind of real rich coming from me to talk about the irate game and ripping off James Rolfe. But I mean, I watched James Rolfe for a while, and then I was so like everyone's saying that irate game is ripping off James Rolfe. I think I'll watch something that he's reviewed that James Rolfe has also reviewed, so that I can get a feel for the differences of their styles and what have you. And what I found was pretty much the same fucking script and jokes, just done by the irate gamer. Like, oh, well, that's a pretty big fucking ripoff right there.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing a documentary, well, not an official documentary, but a documentary on YouTube a few years ago when, James Rolfe was becoming really popular and there were a lot of people copying him. And there was this one YouTuber who said, there were a lot of people copying the angry video game nerd, and they're, doing the same things that he's doing, like constantly swearing and yelling and stuff like that, but they don't understand on the context on why James does it successfully and everybody else doesn't.
Yeah. And it's like people know about the anger, but they don't know too much about the justified anger angles so much. I mean, it's kind of like with the Predator reaction. That's clearly the video that I was the most pissed off in, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be my most pissed off video for quite a while. At least I hope it is, because I really don't want to have to go through that kind of stress again.
Until you review it properly.
Oh God. Anyway.
We do have a $5 comment from the Count Jacula show, who says, "Greetings from the planet Dracula."
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, the article is just basically going over the controversial things, which we more or less did cover over the past year with, all the incidents that happened, which we don't want to really go over. But I'm just going to read off this last paragraph. For all its joy coming out videos and fascinating borderless memes and its new push to reward diverse creators, YouTube is still a massive American corporation. It lives within and recreates the same systems of privilege and prejudice that trouble our entire culture and country. YouTube is trying to grow up, but it's also trying to give us what we want. And in 2018 America, nobody knows what we want. It's somewhere between ending racism and allowing anyone to say whatever they want, between enjoying shocking content and wanting to ban it on moral grounds, between wanting to celebrate the LGBTQ community and other minorities and wanting to hide their existence from our children. YouTube needs to do better, but its growing pains are also America's, and no simple fix is going to make it right. So, yeah. We already know that YouTube has already been going like into flames because of all the crazy crap that has been happening over the past year with, not sending, YouTubers who hit 100,000 subscribers their plaque. Or,
oh yeah, that reminds me. I still haven't gotten my notification.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also,
I can check right now. I'm pretty sure I still don't have it, but I checked before that something came up on the notifications tab, but not that.
Okay. There's also, demonetizing videos. There's also the YouTube glitch when YouTube shut down, removing subscribers thinking it was spam, all the controversies involving with the YouTubers, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, that's what the fuck shit up. They're like, hey, you want to land a brand deal? I'm like, no, that won't work with the format of my show. I'm not gonna fucking be able to say, so let's take a look at RoboCop 2, but first, a word from our sponsor. And then spend like 3 minutes talking about Dollar Shave Club or some shit. and it will not work with it. It'll absolutely ruin the show. I mean, I just feel like it's going to drive too many people away if I do something like that. It's a little gain now monetarily for a loss of long-term viability. So I'd rather have a long-term viability than a little more money right now. Call me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we do have a couple of other articles, but let's see if I can find one that we can kind of end off things with, because this has been a crazy night.
A happy positive note.
Sure, happy positive note. Let me see if I can find something.
Let's
see. Ooh, okay. This will be interesting. So, this will be a good one to end off things. So,
Lazarus Skull 82 is like, well, end racism by saying whatever you want. There, it's over. But sure. I just remember there was this thing recently. I saw it trending on Twitter shortly before we started, where evidently Andrew C.K. Or Louis C.K. and Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais and Jerry Seinfeld were all on a late show together or something, or some kind of show together. And to put it as simply as possible, everyone but Jerry Seinfeld pretty much was, I'm going to say the N-word. So,
okay.
If you're familiar with the meme, I hope you are, because otherwise you might think I'm a monster.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised Jerry Seinfeld wasn't familiar with it.
And people on Twitter are losing their shit about Chris Rock. Like, how could he let those two pasty white bastards so freely say the N-word? And saying such things about him that I can't say because they're pretty horrible. But let's pretend that they're not.
All right, here we go. I think that this will be a nice one to end off things. I think we did read an article like this that was
pretty sure that wasn't on YouTube, though, is the point I was trying to make there.
Right. So I think we did read an article about this hinting about a Warhammer 40K animated series, but now it's been officially confirmed. So, yeah, why don't you end things off, Decker?
Games Workshop is making an animated series based on the popular Warhammer 40,000 franchise, the company announced Monday, called Angels of Death. It's the first officially licensed series of its kind. Helming the project is the team behind the popular Hell's Reach series of fan-made cartoons and a live-action film released in October. We're bringing the grim darkness of the future to life like never before, Games Workshop wrote in its official community log. Get ready for epic battle, heroic sacrifice, loads of explosions, $200 troop packs, brutal close-up combat chainsaw duels, and some pathos-laden dialogue that'll fill your belly with fire and stretch your heartstrings to breaking. Angel of Death will follow a group of red-armored Blood Angel Space Marines. The script will be penned by one of many authors who contribute to Games Workshop's Black Library series of genre fiction books. Also involved is Richard Bullion, the cinematic designer at Electronics Arts, and the man behind the live-action short film Guardsman, which has more than 1.3 billion views on YouTube. Fans of 40K will also know his work from Hell's Reach, a long-running animated series based on the Black Library novel of the same name. I'm pretty limited in what I can say, other than myself and Bowman Modine, the producer/writer of Guardsman, were approached to create an animated series. Boylan told Polygon via email. It's basically going to be like my Hell's Reach series, only with full Games Workshop support and an actual budget, which is awesome on their part. The series is expected to be available on the popular Warhammer TV channel on YouTube in 2019.
All right, so that's a good one to end things off.
Excellent.
That's pretty good. I enjoy some Warhammer 40,000, except for the price point. In terms of things that are really fun to do, but you gotta have like a good amount of money that you don't really need, Warhammer ranks pretty high. It's like I could buy old cars and fix them up, or I can make a miniature war zone and paint a bunch of little tiny figures meticulously and make this whole custom thing going here, and I'm gonna have the best fucking army of Tyranids you've ever fucking seen, motherfuckers.
Oh man.
All right.
What's that, huh? You like the Dark Eldar creepy? Is that it? You Dark Eldar, huh? You Dark Eldar? You Dark Eldar.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah, I think we're going to end things early, just so we can, spend more time getting ready for the holidays. So, yeah, Decker, take it away.
Coleslaw Slaw says, slow the fuck down, Decker. Jeez, do you know who I am? So, yeah, I guess it should do the send-offs of sending off. So what are we working on? Well, I've been, obviously I'm working on the RoboCop 2 review still. Got to film it, got to edit it, upload it, all that fun stuff. But fortunately got the script done, which is the hard part. And so I hope to get that out within the next few days. I really hope before Christmas. Also still got to do the riff for Patreon and for the channel members on YouTube. And of course, the Patreon live feed is next Saturday, the 29th. So that'll be the last Saturday of the month. That'll be the Patreon live feed. On the gaming channel, I've of course been doing Sakura Gamer, which is a horrible, horrible, smutty visual novel that I do not suggest you watch because it's incredibly embarrassing. Also want to do some more streaming when I have time for things like EDF 5, if I can somehow figure out how to get creepy like $90 so we can get the game and the DLC packs so that we can actually play together. I think it'd be creepy. What class would you play in EDF?
I don't know.
Do you know what classes there are in EDF?
I was going to ask, is there a class that worships Mothra?
No.
I have immediately lost interest.
Omega Gaming dropped $2 saying, "Panic! I was out of donuts."
Sorry.
But there's plenty of stuff. The thing is, there's 4 playable classes in Earth Defense Force. There's the Ranger, who's your basic all-around soldier guy. In Earth Defense Force 5, he also has a support. He can carry 2 weapons into battle, and he also has a support slot, so he can carry either augmentations for his abilities or a vehicle. Then there's the Wing Diver, who's a female-only class. Well, okay, the other 3 are male-only, but this one's the female class. And she can fly and use lightning guns and laser guns and stuff. And she also, storyline-wise, in order to be able to fly, they need to give her as little armor as possible.
Wow.
It makes sense in the plot. So, that's the cheesecake one. Then, of course, you got the Air Raider, who is just the awkward kind of class to play where his weapons aren't really that great, except he has superpowers, pretty much. You can call in airstrikes. You can carry really big vehicles into battle, like fucking mechs, but you gotta get enough enemies killed before you can summon them, which can be a difficult time. But they can be... They're a tough class to master, but they are very damn powerful. And then there is the one that I play, the Fencer, who's the big frickin' hulking armored car with feet, who can carry 2 sets of 2 weapons into battle. It also has 2 augmentation slots and can go zoopy zoopy boom zoom zoom. They're technically a slow class, but if you put the right augs on them, they can fly. Like I can go really fast and also really high in the air, and also really fast while being really high in the air. But that's what I like to play.
Okay.
All right.
What have you got going on?
Let's see. I just recently posted, as mentioned earlier, the episode of Casual Chats, which is my podcast about the Land Before Time franchise. Recently posted up a new episode of Dream Machine about Shark Tale, which... And yeah, I got a couple of stuff coming up. I'm going to be doing a Christmas podcast and hopefully a video to coincide with that. And finally, for the new year, I do have a very special guest coming in to, cap it off. Is nice way to end the podcast for 2018. So that's what I got. What about you, Creepy? What do you got?
I've got a new DuckTales retrospective coming up. Hopefully, I will have something Batman related coming out before the end of the month. That's been planned. And
I hope it's what I think it is.
Yeah, it just might be, because it's a 25th anniversary, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. So that, and new X-Men retrospective too.
All right, that's great.
Over the week of Christmas, so hopefully, yeah, getting things going soon.
All right, awesome.
So, what class are you gonna play?
We'll let the. How about this? We'll let the chat choose.
Yeah.
So, which class should Creepy play in EDF 5?
Well, we'll find out next time.
Dang it.
Yes, we'll find out. We'll find out in our next episode of Live and Wired, which will be not only the first of 2019, but it'll be our 1-year anniversary.
Yay!
That's something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Went from a crazy idea to try and not whine about YouTube all the time. And then I spent several of the title cards just whining about YouTube. But the point is, we've come a long way. And there's a long way still to go. There's so much improvement that can be done. Like if I actually start pulling my weight around here.
I wonder if we should do something special, have a highlights, reel where we talk about some of our favorite Live and Wired moments of the previous year.
Yeah, that'd be nice. We can, discuss about that. Some of our favorite moments, some of our favorite WTF articles that we found over the year, and yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Should be fun in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all for watching. I've been Decker Shado.
And I've been Patricia.
And I've been that long-haired creepy guy.
And remember,
Happy New Year and Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Solstice, and Ramadan, and all that stuff as well.
Right.
Savages, have a pleasant winter holiday. Good night, everyone.